I need that sports encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What are you? He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you. Oh, God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
What up? We're in the building. It is Work Boot Wednesday. Strap up your hard hats, tie up your work boots, put up your big boy pants. It's time to go to work. We are loaded today. NFL draft specialist extraordinaire, Eric Edholm will be joining us along with Major League Baseball betting specialist and knower of all things as we get into the Major League Baseball season as my Dodgers are 7-0. We'll be having a Major League Baseball betting extraordinaire, Greg Peterson, joining us as well. So don't miss it. Plus, our own Shaun King joins us on a loaded lineup. So let's break it down. This show is powered by BetUS TV. Head on over there today and check us out. You can bet DFS. You can bet picks, future picks, all you can get. Short, fast, skinny, tall. BetUS has it all. Rest in peace, my main man, Val Kilmer. Iceman. You will live forever in millions of households across the world. Best movie ever, in my opinion. Heat, you were part of. And we all know you for Top Gun, of course, as the famous Iceman. Rest in peace. 65 years old, gone far too young. Actor extraordinaire. We'll dive into that a little bit later. Matt Hasselbeck calls Shedeur Sanders the Red Rifle 2.0 as Andy Dalton takes some heat. We'll dive into that. Russell Westbrook may have just committed basketball suicide last night to clock off one of the most impressive NBA performances of all time as Joker drops a 61-point triple-double by missing a layup and not pulling the ball out to waste the clock. Hey, Russ, going up 3 with 7 seconds doesn't mean you guys win. But running out the clock up 1 does. Just fucking saying. The Dodgers go to 7-0. And the second place Padres stay unbeaten at 6-0. A franchise best for them. Congratulations, San Diego. You guys are still in second place. The Torpedo Bats are the Major League Baseball version of the Tush Push as they now look to ban the bat after an offensive explosion has hit this past weekend. Hey, Major League Baseball, do us a solid. Let this year play out first and then ban it. Give us some offense. We all missed the McGuire and Sammy Sosa days. Steph Curry, not to go unnoticed, catches fire as he was one shy of Klay Thompson's three-point record as he drops 52. And as of now, the Warriors would play the Lakers in round 1, which doesn't fare well for LeBron and Luka. Calais Campbell signs up for an 18th season and signs a one-year deal with the Arizona Cardinals. And for the first time in history, Major League Baseball average player salaries tops $5 million a year. Yet most ballparks still are half empty. We have a Major League Baseball specialist, Greg Peterson, joining us, as I said. Plus, he's the host of Baseball Betting Show and Coast to Coast Hoop Show. Along with NFL draft extraordinaire Eric Edholm will join us later on in the show. Plus, our Super Bowl champ extraordinaire, knower of all things, Shaun King, will join us as well. But what do I know? What I do know is my main man, my Far East Sider in 317, LeBron Hairline, having Lamar Jackson loving, AR5 defending, and Caitlin Clark jocking. Fox Sports' very own Big Smitty joins us as he always does.
Yeah. What's going on, man? It's your boy Big Smitty here, man. It's hump day. It's middle of the week. It's Wednesday, man. I got my all red on, man. He got his all black on. What does that mean? I don't know. You tell me. But it's going to be in a beautiful, beautiful show. The rundown's amazing. We're going to stick solely to the rundown. We're not doing no freestyle today. Yesterday was a freestyle show. Today, we're going step by step by step on the amazing rundown that Young Bailey has made. So shout out to Young Bailey. But more importantly, y'all, forget me, forget Jason, because we wouldn't be us without people like Michael Partington, Boston Richie, Brandon Bailey, Dre Day Solo, Adam Spence from Naptown. Shout out to Naptown. Captain Lucky 23, Jared, Amsterdam. What else? Ron and Matthew Byer, man. It could be a great show. And shout out to Aaron McCorkle becoming a new YouTube member, man.
The white dude, don't fuck his name up.
He's not white. His last name is McCorkle.
That's as white as it possibly can get.
How many McCorkles do you know?
A lot. By the way, Aaron McCorkle, man, shout out to him. He's a local real estate guy here in LA, California. So shout out to Aaron. Shout out to him. I know him personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you buy your home through him?
No.
Oh, okay.
Low energy today by you. I thought the rundown or the intro was unbelievable by me, self-written and all that. The rundown, you'll have to keep us on track, like you said, if you want to follow it to a T, because I don't ever look at it. Can't even see it. Never seen it. So make sure that you follow it and
never seen it ever.
Keep us on board. I'm saying I write on it, but I don't follow it during the show. So
you write and you just like exit it out. Okay, that's smart.
And I don't exit it out. I just, I got a big screen. I got a lot of things going. I got Leah's picture. A lot of shit going on the screen up here.
Whose picture up there?
Twitter and shit.
Twitter. Okay, my fault.
Yeah. Leah posted an Autism Awareness Month.
She did. Shout out to Leah, man. He always just like trying to find ways to just give back and look out for others, and it's never about her. That's a good quality to have. Shout out to Leah, man.
How'd you see her post so quick?
No, I heard what you said.
Let's dive into it, man. Quote of the day brought to you by BetUS TV. BetUS TV is a proud sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. You can get your DFS, prop picks, future bets. You can get it all short, fast, skinny, tall at BetUS. As the NBA playoffs come closer, NHL playoffs come closer. We got a record in the brewing of possibly being broken. The great one, Wayne Gretzky's record, is 3 shy of being shattered, man, by Ovechkin, however you say his name. We'll see that. We'll see how that goes. What's the name? Ovechkin?
Yeah, basically.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Alex Ovechkin.
That motherfucker said it. Alex is a Mexican. Shout out to Ruben and Cisco and all them.
Hold on, y'all. Breaking news. Joe Court, massive tornado outbreak today. Memphis is in the crosshairs. Please have a plan today if you live in that region. Join today. The Discord has extensive weather coverage. Thank you, Joe Court.
That's breaking news?
Yeah, I mean, because if someone in the chat lives in the area near Memphis or in Memphis, they need to know this.
They come to this show. They come to this show to get that info then now.
Or maybe they didn't know about it, homie.
Hey, we can make them come to this show.
Okay. We could.
Get weather information.
That could be another piece of our thing we offer. Yeah.
because we're gonna add a big time bet. We're gonna add a big time betting segment to it for all the things going on because we got baseball just starting. NBA is about to be here. What is it? 7 games left on the season.
Something like that. Under 10. Under 10.
Yeah, then you got the 10 seed playing the 9, and then the 9 gets to play the 8, and then the winner of the 8 and the 9 gets to play the winner of the 10. And then if the 10 loses, they get to play the winner of the 9 versus 8. And then if the 8 loses, they still get another shot at it. They can play the loser of the 10. And then if the 10 beats them, then the 8's out. Then the 9 seed's still alive because it's like a, round robin. And then the 9 will get in possibly, and then they'll end up being the 8 seed.
You almost had it, homie, and then you added some other stuff to it.
So, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's how the NBA is now. Everyone gets an award. So, I know I broke that down perfectly, by the way. That's how it goes. So we'll dive into that. But let's get to the quote of the day. Guess what you do in Memphis if you're there? Number 1, I hope it levels that motherfucker shithole. Number 2.
Oh, come on, homie.
Number 2, let me be clear. You guess what you do? You put your head between your legs like this, and you go deep as you can and kiss your motherfucking ass goodbye. That's what you do, Memphis. If a big one comes, because I was there, by the way, 2011. Shout out Joplin, Missouri. It's on Netflix right now. There's a huge, one of the biggest F5s ever to drop. I was there. I saw it. I was also in Hoisington, Kansas, another F5. Got to see a basement just ripped right out of the dirt. So I've been in a few big ones. That's what you do, Smitty. To be honest, that's what you do. You're from Naptown. You're in Tornado Alley. That's what you do. You put your head between your ass and your legs and kiss it. That's all you do. Or you go underneath the freeway overpass, or you put a shower curtain over yourself in the tub. Hopefully this doesn't scoop you out. And it is what it is. I mean, not much you can do. I'll take an earthquake all day, every day. 1,000 times a day over a tornado. Just throwing that out there. And you motherfuckers really scared of tornado. Are you really scared of earthquakes like Smitty?
It depends how big the earthquake is. I mean, knock on wood, thank God we haven't had one that's been so big to where it's led to issues, but we just saw a huge tornado. Where was it at? Japan, or not Japan, wherever it was at, like Thailand, I believe.
There's no
the
Thailand.
other day, and thousands of people have passed away. Buildings literally collapsed. We saw it on video.
That was an earthquake, homie.
You're right. That was a earthquake. So
you said tornado, homie. You said tornado.
At least you can get away though. Like if I know tornado, if I see a tornado down the street, I got a chance at least. Earthquake, like we're on Earth. I can't go nowhere. We're on Earth. There's nothing I can do about it. Thankfully, again, knock on wood, we haven't had some big old massive one that's caused issues. But it could happen, homie. It could happen. I'm saying since I've been here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
For the last 7 years I've been here, I only care when I'm here. So
yeah, well, you're a nobody. Nobody really cares about how long you've been. I was here. We've had actually big ones I've been in. Here's the issue I got, Smitty. I want to be clear here.
They might care about your issue, but go ahead.
It's funny when West Coast cats go out to the Midwest and we're playing ball and then there's tornadoes and shit. We over here, we're all looking at each other like 11 of us from LA. We're like, what the fuck? Let's get the fuck out of here. And then everybody out there is like, hell nah, you guys are from earthquake. We'll never like earthquake. What? I'll take earthquake all day over this motherfucker pulling me out the air. When I saw a cow in the air, Smitty, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm good, homie.
Tornado was straight, homie. So that ain't the big of a deal.
That's actually
worst case, and it mess up your house, but you should have insurance. You'll get a better house. Like it's not the big of a deal.
That's actually white people shit. Your comment, your argument is actually like white people shit. But
it's BPS. It's in terms of business people stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into the quote of the day, powered by BetUS. Smitty, I wake up every morning, make my bed because because like you said, it makes you a millionaire. Automatically makes you a millionaire. If you just get up, make your bed, it makes you a millionaire. That's what you said yesterday.
You still broke.
So listen, man. Quote of the day wouldn't be right if I didn't start you off with a lesson, and that lesson is this, Smitty. When you learn the lesson will stop showing up. Quote of the day. You guys can't even fathom it. When you learn the lesson will stop showing up. God damn. I think I need to put on a t-shirt.
Nah, don't put that on a t-shirt. Save that shirt. Save that shirt. That's a horrible quote.
On the bottom of it, it'll say, shout out to all the micro thinkers who don't get it.
Ding, 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 ding. Bottom 10 alert. Bottom 10 alert. Bottom 10 alert. Zero effort, homie. Horrible.
Zero effort?
Yeah, I can tell you just did that this morning real quick. He's like, oh, dang, Bailey. What happened? I forgot quote of the day. How much time we got left? We got about 2.5 minutes. All right. Oh, man, let me stick something.
How's Bailey sound?
Huh?
How does Bailey sound?
What happened? You know what I'm saying? Kind of deeper voice, young. You know what I mean? Love JB. What happened? Concerned.
People think it was a fire quote. Your energy on responding to it was like so lackluster that people you're steering cats to believe it was shitty, but it was really actual fire quote. When you learn the lesson will stop showing up.
You ain't got to keep saying it, homie. Like, we understand it, homie. You ain't Einstein. You didn't say something that was that incredible.
I said it. I made it up. You don't get it. You don't even understand how deep it is to make up shit like this. But anyway, contrary to belief, brought to you by BetUS TV again. Yeah, everyone out there, you hearing me? Yeah, fucking BetUS. So that's everybody. You other motherfuckers better start breaking bread.
BetUS TV, homie.
BetUS TV, homie. Everything. Contrary to belief, Smitty, success attracts enemies. Invites jealousy.
Oh, we'll start over.
If nobody hates you, you're not making it in life.
I think I like this, but can you say it again because you fumbled?
I fumbled?
Yeah, you missed an important word out the entire thing. So just say the whole thing again way better.
Success attracts enemies, contrary to belief. Progress invites jealousy. If nobody hates you, you are not making it in life.
That's real right there. That's a real one right there. Contrary to belief. I like that when you bounce back right there.
I didn't miss nothing.
You bounce back right there. The first time, I don't think you didn't say the word progress for some reason.
I know, I didn't.
I don't know why. That's very important. But success, I like that.
Success attracts enemies, which I have. I have 1,000 of them. You have 1,000 of them.
I got even more. Yep.
Progress invites jealousy. That means you're advancing in the successful track.
Yep.
And you invite jealousy now. Now we got a lot of jealous motherfucking haters. So you got jealous haters.
Yep.
Who are enemies, who now hate you for making progress.
They all connected, right? They all like, that's crazy, yo. I like that.
I'm gonna be straight honest. If you don't have any of that, you're a nobody. You're an absolute nobody. If you don't have any haters,
yep.
Which I said on Netflix, I made a quote very famous. Everybody uses now in the household. If you don't have no jealous haters, then you're not making any fucking progress. That's just what it is. So
if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. That's real.
Yeah. I love
in the chat ain't popping, unfortunately.
I love being hated. I'm gonna be real. I think haters are our biggest fans, and that's what I said years ago, and it's true.
Yeah.
They're our biggest fans. Haters are our biggest fans.
Like Blinky Jedi. Like I love that. I love the hate. I love when I look at the comments, people going at me.
Oh, who?
Some dude named Blinky Jedi.
What's he say?
Something that's not important. He's not green. I'm not gonna show him no love.
Oh. Levi said, man, I used to watch this show just for the quote of the day. And then he just left.
Yeah, I respect that. Like, we have a 3-hour show. It's 3 hours. So sometimes you come in for this specific segments and parts that you want to see.
3.5.
Yeah, it was 3.5 the other day. I'm like, shit, it just keeps getting longer and longer somehow. So I get it.
Let's dive into the poll question, Smitty. I got to ask you right now. The Dodgers are 7-0. The Padres are 6-0. The only two undefeated teams in Major League Baseball. They're still alive. They're both in the same division. Who will lose first, Smitty? The Dodgers or the Padres? Head over to BetUS TV right now and place your future bet because I'm dropping a on it today. Dropping
this is a tough one.
On that shit right now. I'm going to say that the Dodgers will win. The Padres will lose tonight.
Tonight? Nah, the Padres play the Cleveland Guardians, who's a very, average, below average team. And they're at the crib, homie. I got the Padres winning tonight. I got the Dodgers winning tonight, too, because they're playing against the 0-6 ball club in the Atlanta Braves. But listen, I'll say that I think the Padres will lose first, but it won't be tonight, homie. They will continue their winning streak today.
I don't think they make it to 8-7-0. I don't think 8-7-0.
You can not think whatever is going to happen, homie.
By the way, the Cleveland Guardians, whatever the fuck they are, I'm going to call them the Indians for the sake of the show.
No, call them what they are, homie.
The Cleveland Indians are not an average team. They're actually really good. They're going to be good. They're going to get better. And this is the beginning of the year. A lot of teams like the Braves are one of the favorites to come out of the fucking.
I'm talking about right now, homie. They 0-6 right now. I'm not talking about what they're going to be in 30, 40 games.
I get all that. I'm just saying.
Right there.
But the Braves have been picked by a lot of people to get in as either a wild card team or come out of the fucking their own respective division.
And a lot of people are wrong every single year, Jason. I don't care what a lot of people say. What are the facts?
The Indians are going to be good. The Indians will be good. They'll beat the Padres tonight.
There's not an Indian team. Are you talking about the Guardians or
the Indians? Yeah, and then
I'm not sure that is.
They play in Cleveland, and then they made a show about them. They made a movie about them.
Yeah, but they switched the name. We can disagree and all that, but like if I tell you to call me Meta Piece or something like that, like if that's my new name, call me that. That's my name.
I'm not going to call it my name. I've never used that name. I've never called Ron Artest that.
Well, shout out to the homie Meta World, man. That's disrespectful.
I call Chad Johnson, by the way. Chad Johnson.
Johnson. Ocho Cinco. He legally changed his name, like his name.
I don't know him by that.
It's disrespectful, homie.
Not really. I don't know him by that.
Really is.
When I played with him and against him, he was Chad Johnson. So,
man, you
like I saw him in
Vegas. He changed his name, homie.
When I saw him in Vegas, I said Chad, and he turned around and saw me, and he came over there. So there was no beef.
Listen, homie, it ain't gotta be beef. It's just disrespectful. Muhammad Ali.
Ocho. I didn't say Ocho. I said Chad.
Malcolm X, not Malcolm Little. Malcolm X. If they change their name legally, respect them and call them that name, homie.
Yeah,
what's wrong with you? You disrespectful, homie.
I'm disrespectful.
Yeah, you disrespectful, homie.
Yeah, I'm disrespectful as shit. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the topics, Smitty. Let's stay right on track, like you said, and let's dive into it.
Well, let's do it, man. As I pull up the rundown, man, the first topic here is former NFL QB. Younger brother of Matt Hasselbeck, Tim Hasselbeck, ESPN analyst says that Shedeur Sanders player comp is in the Andy Dalton range, and he's getting pushback for it. Check this video out.
I think I agree with everything Sam said in terms of the strengths of Shedeur Sanders. He is smart. He knows how to play the position. I think where it gets really tricky is like you're talking about rarefied air when you're talking about drafting a guy at the top of the draft. And look, he just is not as physically talented as you would like to see. I mean, it sounds crazy considering he's Deion Sanders' son, but like that's just the case. And so, look, my comp on Shedeur Sanders has kind of been in that like Andy Dalton range. People have compared him to Kirk Cousins. Look, those are compliments. Both of those guys have thrown for over 250 touchdowns through their NFL career. Both of those guys have led teams to the playoffs. But when you're talking about the top half of round one, look, again, you're looking for elite traits, and he just doesn't have those. Now, look, you're going to have to beat the market at quarterback, so you're going to have to draft a rookie quarterback at some point because of what's happened with the Deshaun Watson deal.
Listen, man, let me go first before you go in, JB. We can all agree, disagree. At the end of the day, right now, during this time of the year, we're all just projecting and guessing. We have no idea what any of these players in the draft will become. But let me say this. Comparing him to Andy Dalton, to me, isn't the worst thing in the world. Andy Dalton has been a very serviceable quarterback for a long time in the NFL. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, if I'm not mistaken, has been in the playoffs, has been in the trenches, has been a valuable, serviceable quarterback for a long time. Now, to me, when I heard Andy Dalton, I'm not looking at the worst of Andy Dalton. I look at the best version of Andy Dalton, the Pro Bowl version of Andy Dalton, the Andy Dalton that's thrown for 30-plus touchdowns in a season. That's the one I looked at. So when he compared him to Andy Dalton, people are taking it as like a slap in the face because maybe they're looking at him now because he's a backup and he's not. We're not really seeing him as being a starter anymore in this league unless someone gets hurt. But no, let's not forget, when he came into this league the first few years and just the first half when he was with the Cincinnati Bengals, he had a decent amount of success before he started getting injured and things of that nature. Like Tim Hasselbeck, throughout. I mean, the man thrown for 253 touchdowns throughout his career, almost 40,000 yards. Andy Dalton is a solid NFL quarterback. So I just think we need to pump the brakes before everyone wants to start attacking them. Now, do we hope that Shedeur will have a greater career than what Dalton has had? Of course. But having that comp right now ain't the end of the world. If you say Shedeur's going to be a Pro Bowl quarterback, cool. That's good. So go ahead, JB. I just want to get that initial lap out the way.
Great take. Impressive.
Appreciate you.
So happy you went that way. Anyway.
Cut that.
What?
Paris, cut that for me.
Paris, make sure you favor me in all this shorts. So here we go. Here's what I want to make sure we're clear on real quick. Shedeur Sanders, you will be fucking lucky to play 9 years in this league as a starter. Remember, Andy Dalton was a 9-year fucking starter. He's thrown for over 4,200 yards twice in his career. Put that up against a lot of people. 253 fucking touchdowns in this NFL, 150 touchdowns, 100 more than interceptions. I mean, let's be honest. He's a 1%er. And let's just be real. I would love to have been compared to a 9-year starter in the NFL when you're not even close to showing the people that matter, the owners and GMs in this league, that you're a 9-year worthy guy. I'm just being honest. You haven't really shown us. You've had 2 years of high passing completion percentages, which we know this game is played this way now, Smitty. It's not played this way. Let's just be honest, and I'm being fair, and you can call me a hater all you want because I tell the truth. It's fine and dandy. The bottom line is this. He's not a 9-year starter in this league. He won't be a 9-year starter in this league, and I don't wish any ill will on the man. I'm just telling you, I don't believe he's a 9-year NFL starter. I don't know if he'll be around in this NFL for 9 years. I hope he's in the league for 9 years, a little less a starter. Andy Dalton was a big arm accurate motherfucker, just so we're clear. When he came out of TCU, Andy Dalton was compared to who? The guy he replaced, Carson Palmer. Like, that is a fucking pretty high praise, by the way. So, I don't know if anyone in this sorry.
Yeah.
Anyone in this chat. Yeah, I'm good. I did a line earlier.
Oh.
If anybody's in this chat is mad at Tim or is Matt, whatever Hasselbeck it is, Tim, Matt, whatever the fuck, if you're mad at him, then you're literally looking at it the wrong way. Period. You think it's because I don't like Dion and I don't like Shedeur the Sanders family. Shut the fuck up. You guys are fucking jokes. And you prime sexuals out here, just understand something. I could give a fuck less where Shedeur goes and plays. All I care about is what he does. What does the end result? Does he have a successful career or not? I don't think he will have. But guess what? That's what I do. I go out on a limb and give you my takes early. And by the way, I've been right more than I've been wrong, and no one's perfect. No one in this world is perfect, just so we're clear, but I've been right more than I've been wrong. But I would like to ask the chat, where have you been when I'm right? Where are you when I'm right? Motherfuckers are all here digging out shit when I'm wrong. You were wrong, and the Chiefs started off 10-0. That's the stat you'd like to find about me being wrong. But no one wants to talk about quarterback play when I'm fucking 99% right. But anyway, moving on, Smitty. Good luck to the man. I don't know how high he'll get drafted. I don't understand. Don't know where. Don't really care. I don't believe there's a quarterback in this draft. It ain't Shedeur Sanders knock. I don't believe Cam Ward. I don't believe fucking any of these quarterbacks are going to be in this league very long. So that's just me. And I've been telling that for Smitty for a long time. Fairness to me, this is the worst quarterback draft. I've been saying it for how long? I've never pointed out Shedeur, Cam Ward. The class itself is the worst I've seen. So having said that, yeah, I've been consistent. That's all I do. So,
yeah. Listen, Andy Dalton, people forget, man. That man led the Bengals. They were 10-6 in 2012. Then 2013, they went 11-5, won the AFC North. Then 2015 went 12-4, won the North. Like, these guys were competing, like, in the top division year after year after year, and he was playing good against the big dogs. So again, do I think Shedeur has the talent to be better than him? Yeah, but the comp itself doesn't make me mad. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they compared him to Jamarcus Russell or something like that, and say he's gonna be a bust. Like, I would take that as disrespect. But Andy Dalton, that's a good quarterback, y'all. Everybody not gonna be Hall of Fame, y'all. Everybody not gonna be Peyton Manning and like the elite of the elite. It's okay to be a middle of the pack quarterback and play for 9-10 years or start for 9-10 years.
And we keep it real. I hate to fucking keep bringing this bullshit race thing up, but you know damn well the haters out here are comparing it because they compared him to an old white redheaded crusty motherfucker. Looks like a redneck hunter like Ron or Gene. And that's just what it is. If they've compared him to fucking, you know, let's just be honest. If they compared him to even a Jameis Winston or a fucking Russell Wilson, or nobody would be saying shit. But Hasselbeck, being the white he is, says that he's going to be like a redheaded rifleman. Like that shit, everyone's like, oh man. And then you got, this is the crazy ironic part, Smitty. You got the white rednecks over here mad you compared Shedeur to him. And then you got the brothers over here mad you compared them to this motherfucker. That's how divided we are. Smitty didn't mention one thing about race. He said, hey, I'd love to be compared to a motherfucker 9 years. Because, again, once you're in the locker room, it's an intimate setting. Nobody gives a fuck about race. So, bottom line is, that's what the facts are. And it is what it is. I would be happy as shit if I'm Shedeur Sanders and I start in the league 9 years. Like, let's be honest. That is more than fair. That is like 9-year starter in the league. You could go to sleep at night very well.
Very well. And you'll be paid. Last thing, too, it's funny you bring this up, though, Jason. We were just talking about this at work the other day. And I can't remember who it was. It was Keyshawn. Somebody asked, this is off camera, why don't we ever compare? Like, anytime we're doing draft comparisons, if you notice, it's always a black player to a black player. Or a white player to a white player. If you really like lock in, pay attention, like this is actually, I'm actually glad Hasselbeck did this because you never see this. They always, and maybe it's just in our subconscious mind, but you never compare a black player to a white player, like ever. Like this never happens for some reason. So
unfortunately, the Hasselbeck will take a white. He'll take heat today though because he's this white dude that said he compared the brother to the white dude. That's going to be the problem. That's what I see happening today. Yeah, so that's crazy. That's the crazy part about it. I don't know what's going on, Leah, with Twitter Live. I have no idea. Leah asked in the chat.
Leah's not even in the show right now. Why you keep bringing her up?
She was earlier. I just saw her. She just said, what's going on? She said, what's going on with Twitter Live? Because Twitter Live, I did see it. Finally let me reshare it. But I don't know what's up with Twitter Live. We're not really getting a lot of action. Leah was in it.
She's on through YouTube right now. That's probably why. Okay. Because I thought she switched her picture. Maybe she didn't. Maybe it's because sometimes she comes in on YouTube. Sometimes she comes in on Twitter. So her Twitter and her YouTube picture is a little different. It's from the same photo shoot, though, I think.
I never noticed Leah's picture on either one. How do you always notice her picture?
I'm just very detailed when it comes to just our show, and especially our members or viewers who come and watch our show on the daily. You know, if Gene changed his picture, like, I know this picture. If he changed his picture, I'm like, hold on, Jane, you changed your picture, homie. Like, it was you and your girl forever. Now, you know what I'm saying? So there's certain guy, D. Jones, I know he has an old picture of Trevor Lawrence as his avatar. We've never seen D. Jones' face. So it's just like certain things.
Well, he's a closet racist.
Well, I don't know why that.
D. Jones wants to be a racist and behind the scenes.
Well,
hey, real quick.
He looks out for me, so I'm cool.
Can you read this?
Yeah, so Steely the Ball said, it's don't matter who he compared him to.
Wait, start over. Wrong, I'm confused. I start over.
Steely the Ball said it's don't matter.
Why did you enunciate this?
I want to make sure y'all know that it's like it is. It's an apostrophe. So the apostrophe technically means it is. So it is don't matter.
It is don't matter.
Yeah, it is don't matter who he compared him to. He's wrong, homie.
So he's talking in reference to Tim Hasselbeck calling out Shedeur Sanders, saying he's comparing him to a 9-year starter in the league, 3-time Pro Bowler, 250-plus touchdowns in the NFL. He's wrong. Break it down, Silly the Boss. I want to hear your take. I want to get your take, and I want you to drop your resume in the chat as well. But I want to hear, Smitty and I would love to hear why he's wrong and give us the facts. Go. We'll wait. While we wait, D. Jones is going to sue me for defamation. Silly the Boss, we're still waiting. We're going to wait all show. We'll wait 3 hours for Silly the Boss to give us a legitimate breakdown as to why he's wrong. See, I love while we're waiting for this fucking nobody. I love when cats come out and say just a statement, a broad statement, like they dropped the mic and shit.
Right.
But have never put any fucking data behind it. No factual information behind it. Can't tell me what the fuck makes him so wrong besides just saying he's wrong. Damn, it's been like 10 minutes. Anyway, let's move on. That's what I thought. Crickets.
Good. We'll keep this thing rolling.
Ball State.
We'll stay on the rundown here. Man. Switching gears completely, man. Your guy, Andrew Schulz, comedian, calls out Ryan Clark for saying he protects black women despite having multiple domestic abusers of black women on this podcast. So this clip has been going viral. Multiple clips from this podcast has been going viral. I was actually watching a few of them before I went to see.
You said your guy, somebody. I forgot.
Andrew Schulz. He's a funny comedian, has a podcast. He's a podcast with Charlamagne the God.
Why is he my guy? I never heard of him.
Well, you don't like Ryan, so anybody against Ryan, you're gonna be on their side. But no, on a serious note, though, I think it was just some interesting conversation stuff. So let's check this out.
Trend, the thing that's out there in the world gets the response from him. But he's also just the best to ever do it at talking into a microphone. So, like, that's like, I think, the most sophisticated way of like going about it. I gotta probably get better at that. But like, my initial reaction is going, like, I'll tell you what my you want to know what my initial reaction is, which I think is kind of unfair. But my initial reaction was when I saw you guys talking about it, and I was like, okay, he wants to protect black women, and this is very important. And then I looked on every one of the episodes that you had to see if there was any guys on here that beat up black women. Mm-hmm. And there were. And I looked to see if you guys addressed it on the pod. And you didn't.
Okay.
Now, I also saw you guys had the episode with DeAndre's mom talking about domestic violence. So I was like, okay, this is good and this is powerful, this is important. But my knee-jerk reaction was, man, I get a whole section that's not even part of an episode. Mm-hmm. And these guys who we know have actually, like, for like a joke, and these guys who have actually like hurt black women and convicted, not allegations, because I don't go off of allegations, I go off of conviction. Everybody can get an allegation, it means nothing. And then these guys, they don't get anything. So in that moment, I was like, this feels like a clout play. It doesn't feel like the highest priority is protecting these women.
I'm glad he called him out. I don't know the guy. I've never seen the guy. I don't know anything about this guy right here. Is he a comedian, like a name brand? I've never seen him.
Yeah, he's pretty big deal. He has a special on Netflix right now as well.
Was that on? That was in person?
I know we can't play the full stuff, but yeah. But go ahead.
Was that in person with?
Yeah, no, he was So Ryan brought him on the show. He was on their show.
Okay, finally, fuck. Somebody that has a beef goes on the show. Like, why is it that a thing?
Well, to Ryan again, I don't know Ryan, but I know Ryan has claimed that he tries to get people on the show, but they don't want to go. They don't want to go on.
So Ryan called this white dude racist. That's what the narrative is.
No, so Schulz has some joke about black women during one of his specials.
I saw him because he went on Shannon Sharp, right?
Excuse me.
He went on Shannon Sharp, right?
Yeah, he was on Club Shay Shay, but I'm saying the joke was prior to that.
No, I'm saying that's why Ryan tried to get him on the show. Apparently, he called Ryan out on Shay Shay's show.
Yeah, he did on Club Shay Shay. Yep, so he did do that. So he had a joke. I'm not even for sure what the joke was, but it was something going at like black women, whatever. Ryan, I guess I don't know if he's on the pod. I think he was on his podcast, whatever. He used that joke as like an alley-oop or an opportunity for him to, I guess, highlight black women, is what I'm saying. So he didn't necessarily call Schulz a racist, but he mentioned that joke and then was like, well, my perspective of black women is boom, 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 boom. So what Schulz was saying was he was positioned as if he was either A, ignorant of all the positive things that black women or women in general do and provide, or B, really believed in like the joke that he was saying. Like, and again, I don't know the specifics of the joke, so I can't tell you all this exactly what he said. But at the end of the day, it was a joke. It was comedy. We all know comedy. People make jokes all the time about different races. And this guy specifically, to his defense, he goes at everybody. It could be gay, straight, Asian, black, white, Jewish, you name it. He goes at everybody. Has a little bit of like a dark humor. So like, everybody's gonna get it. And I guess whatever he said, Ryan must have took it the wrong way and but again, used it as a way to flip it and be like, well, the way I look at black women, they're beautiful and they this and they that and they this and they that. So they had a long conversation. There's another clip they had too where Ryan was kind of explaining himself a little bit more and kind of saying that, hey, like, it had nothing to do with you specifically, Andrew Schulz. You were just the alley-oop, the platform, the whatever, the opportunity. I saw the opportunity to use that as a way for me to already say some positive stuff about black women that I already wanted to say. So it's a long thing, but yeah, they had kind of hashed it out, so to speak, in a man-to-man way, which I respect. And I thought they both had some good points. I lean more on the side of Schulz, only specifically because I love comedy and I actually like dark comedy. And I don't take like the strong offense to that, especially if you're somebody like him where you go at everybody. Now, if he only went at black people or only went at black women, then maybe I'll feel a certain type of way. But that's not what he does. So,
yeah, Ryan Clark just continues to be this guy who uses race, man, to get like his point across. Yeah. And I just don't get that part. I mean, Merciless has called him out, Whitlock's called him out, people that and I know, and they obviously are brothers who don't like it either. They're over it. I think it's getting old. I think the division in the country is we know there's white racists and there's black racists. Let's just be honest. He's calling another dude racist is ironic when that's all he ever talks about. So I just don't get it. I don't know enough about it to talk to about it, Smitty. I didn't know this guy. I don't even know this guy. So apparently he's a comedian. I'm with you on that, though. I love comedy, and I think it should be left on the stage. And I don't believe, nowadays, this is how crazy it is. I'll just compare it and we'll move on. Jamie Foxx, who I spoke to personally at the Pump Brothers, one of the Pump Brothers events a couple years prior to taking you, the last few years. And I'm like, we were talking about this because there was a crowd around of people and he was breaking down the discussion on how he had to force Leonardo DiCaprio to say the N-word on camera.
Oh, yeah, I saw that clip. He had a clip about that too.
So I think they've made it public now. This was years ago. We were just talking and he was telling a story at the Pump Brothers deal when he launched his whatever he came out with, peanut butter whiskey or something Jamie brought up. This was around COVID. So anyway, he was telling a story and shit, and he said if that were to happen now, they would be canceling Leonardo DiCaprio for being a fucking actor in a movie. That's the same thing that's happened to comedians, Smitty. They can't be a comedian anymore because not only will you try to cancel their motherfucking ass, now you're going on stage slapping a motherfucker. So like it's become a joke, dog. It's become a real joke. And
no pun intended.
I actually like Andrew Schulz, man. I don't know if people saw it, but can we show the video again real quick and just pause it anywhere on Andrew Schulz? Bailey, I would like to see this. Keep going. Let me see if I can find a full clip of Andrew Schulz.
That have been convicted for domestic.
I noticed something right here. Let me see. Right there. Oh, where the fuck is it? Right there. God damn it. Right there. Damn it. Right there. Pause it. Now, hold on, homie. Does this motherfucker always wear that AS on his jacket?
I don't know.
Because it looks fake, it looks horrible, and I would have to say he's mocking Ryan Clark's RC fucking shit he be wearing, homie.
Oh, yeah, that's probably what he's doing. He's probably actually doing that. Yeah, he's a comedian. Yeah, that's literally what he's doing.
I don't know the guy, but I'm giving him even more credit now, man. He's taking a shot at the lapel. And here's the thing, Smitty. Don't have me on your show if you don't want me to be me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I tell people that all the time. Like, I think people know me and real recognizes real, so people will have me on there. But, like, don't have me on if you're now worried about what I do, because that's what I do. This is who I am.
Like, you know what I do. You know who I am. So that comes with it.
He clowned Ryan Clark. Like, nobody knows who you are, Ryan. You're on fucking ESPN every day, and you have to wear the big-ass fucking chrome RC. Like, come on, dog. I think that's a full-on mocking his ass. But anyway, I think it's all in joke and love for coming on the show. I'm glad they actually did the show, but I can see a person's character. Ryan Clark is very uncomfortable with this conversation. I'm just telling you straight out, knowing a motherfucker's character and looking through and judging a good judge of character that I think I am, that motherfucker's uncomfortable. Schulz is there for the business. He's there because he's the one that's been accused. It's always the accuser that gets uncomfortable, never the accusee. The accusee is actually fucking always ready for the smoke. Right. See, I was always ready for the smoke. I wanted to go on ESPN with Stephen A. when all the bullshit happened, and he called me personally, and my lawyer said no. I was like, fuck no, why not? Like, I wanted to go on, and that's when you realize who's who. Like, right. If I could do it over again, I would tell my lawyer, I would have told him, fuck no, I'm going on. Like,
you should have. I mean, that would have changed everything.
Yeah, because that's what you know what I'm saying, though? Like,
the brand to be bigger, the show will be even bigger. I be getting paid more, Bailey be getting paid more. Everything will be different.
That's all you really look at. Like, that's you fast forward all the shit I had to go through.
Yeah, whatever. Because we all got to go through stuff to get to the higher road. We all got to go through the dark tunnel to get to the light. So all the stuff you went through was worth it. Everything. Felonies, allegedly, all that stuff was worth it. So, like, it's important. I mean, listen, we're all selfish. Say what you want. You do for other people, I do for other people. There's, you might do charity, all that, but at the end of the day, you care about Jason Brown. I care about Darnell Smith. Bailey cares about Bailey Price Media. We all care about ourselves. That's who we care about, homie. So, like, yeah, I'm looking for myself. If you would have went on that dang show on that other network, this show will be bigger. Shame on you. Shame on your team for not thinking about the bigger brand and the NIL package we could have had. So
I could be
moving along amicably.
I could actually be in jail, actually.
Well, I mean, that's the price you pay. But moving on amicably, man, it's time for your favorite segment. What's happening now? And man, it's about to get a little spicy. So, Jason, what do we got? It's me on the right.
That is you on the right. Thank you for showing everybody, Darnell. Diddy accuser. There's a Diddy accuser that's come out. Another one. Another one. He's come out, Smitty, and said that LeBron James and Beyonce saw him being abused at a freak off 10 years ago today.
This is the exact day.
April 2nd, 2015, at a birthday party, according to TMZ. The new lawsuit, Smitty, claims that Diddy humiliated the man in front of guests by strapping a penis to his face. And the Florida man, Joseph Manzaro, has filed a lawsuit claiming he was drugged and sent to the 2015 Miami party to be humiliated in front of people. And one of those people happened to be LeBron James. The other one happened to be Beyonce, and Jay-Z was in the side on the back with Little Blue or whatever the fuck their kid's name is. Manzaro claims he saw LeBron James in a bath towel who said to him, y'all better do something about that. According to the lawsuit, the man was paraded around the mansion where guests were told by Diddy to degrade him. The man claims Beyonce said to him, why is this half-naked white man with a cock mask standing here in front of me? End quote. Diddy then says, quote, we want him to see what we do to snitches. This is part of his punishment, end quote. A friend of Diddy allegedly responded saying Manzaro is not suing James or Beyonce. He is, however, going after the former porn star, Adria English, who allegedly paraded him around this party. Diddy and accused drug mule Brendan Paul also are involved. There's a lot going on, homie, at a Diddy party. I tried to break it down as eloquently as I could. Smitty, take it for what you want to take it for. I mean, we heard a lot of things. Beyonce said, why is this white boy sitting here with a cock mask? Jay-Z's in the cut with Lil Blue Blue. You got Diddy walking around.
Bron did what? Bron had a towel on and said what?
Bron had a white towel on, I guess, barefoot, walking around, homie, just.
And what did he say?
Who, Bron?
What did Bron say?
Specifically?
Yeah, all right. Like, read that line again. What did Bron say?
Oh, you want me to quote it again?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to hear, because I'm trying to imagine LeBron's voice saying this, please.
Y'all better do something about that. That's what LeBron said.
And then Beyonce said, what, homie? What did Beyonce say, homie? Beyonce. She said this.
Why is this half-naked white man with a cock mask standing here in front of me?
Stop it, homie. Stop it, homie. This don't even sound like nothing that they would say. Come on. That's why you was laughing while you was reading it. And I know you couldn't wait to have the opportunity to go at LeBron, go at Beyonce, go at Jay-Z. But come on, homie. Come on. Hey, last thing. What's this accuser's name? Let me break down. My last thing, please. What's this accuser's name?
Joseph Manzaro.
Who the hell is Joseph Manzaro? How did he get to the freak off party?
Hey, he might be a mob. Hey, homie, last name might be a mobster. He could be connected, homie. Remember who was Diddy caught with at the Miami airport when they grabbed him up? Some Italian cats, homie. I'm just throwing it out there, homie. Remember some Cubans and some
mobsters don't snitch. Go ahead.
Have you been? You must not have been alive for long enough. I don't know if you knew that. Mobsters literally snitch. That's what they do. But anyway, let me break down something real quick. Something's going on here. And listen, Smitty, I'm gonna break it down for Smitty as to why Smitty says this is BS, and then I'm gonna actually tell you why Smitty thinks it's BS. Number one, certain words. Beyonce said cock. Smitty don't think sisters say the word cock.
That's WPS. They don't say it.
No, well, they do actually when they're rich. Oh my God! Ask any of my homies in here. They know for a fact when you're a bougie black broad, you actually will say the word cock because you've been around all these folks that say the word cock. And guess what? Now you got to say cock.
Beyonce ain't some prissy like. No, she's not.
Beyonce said cock, homie. Beyonce's half white, homie.
No, she's not. She's full black from Houston, Texas.
Beyonce's white,
she's
homie.
Not mixed at all. She's straight. Her mama black, her daddy black. Stop.
Her mama white, a big white girl.
No, she's not.
She is from Houston, Texas, a rich part of Houston at that, where everybody says cock. So
the whole city just say cock. The whole community.
I'm saying that's what they do in Texas,
whole community
homie.
Say cock.
The number one used word in Texas is cock, homie. Look it up, homie. Look it up, bruh. I just looked it up right now, homie. The number one used word in Texas is cock, homie. Hey, homie, whether it's a cock or two, or it's a cock, or it's a real cock, I don't know. I don't use that word for making that thing. Lucy, you know it's true. Don't lie. So here's the thing. Beyonce learned that word. She grew up with that word. She uses that word, especially when you're rich and you're rich folks. You say the word.
So that's number one. The word.
Number one. Okay. LeBron walking around in a white towel is fact. We've seen him walk around in locker rooms in interviews with white towels on. He loves white towels. So I do believe Manzaro when he said he was in a white towel. So, and then Jay-Z on the cut with Blue or whatever his name is. It is what it is, homie. Like, it is what it is. I'm just start breaking down points that a lot of you micro thinkers won't outside the box think about. And I'm giving you more, information to think about. And so let me ask you this. Was this motherfucker just walking around Diddy? Like, take that, and dropping and just squirting baby oil all over the marble floor, which makes it even more.
I'm not sure what he was doing. You would know more than me.
Would you prefer to speculate on what he was doing?
You would know more than me because, you live in LA your whole life. Two, you have extreme access to all the Hollywood stuff, the big time parties. I've been to a few big time parties with you, but not no Diddy type parties. So, If anybody would know, it would literally be you. I'm from Indiana, homie. Don't nobody come to Indiana.
Hey, listen, man, it's that type of show. We're loaded, and we have a special guest on, man. Going to break down all things when it comes to baseball betting, and he also dabbles in the hoop world, of course. And can't thank him enough, Smitty. We're going to dive into this. It is the Dodgers 7-0, the Padres 6-0. And I can't wait to ask him all things baseball. Our main man, Greg Peterson, joins the show.
Yeah, what's going on, Greg?
What's up, brother?
You're on mute. You're on mute, Greg.
I think you're muted. Still here.
We can't hear you, Greg.
I still can't hear you.
Your energy seems amazing. You have to smile. You might have to refresh and connect the mic. That was a great intro. I could tell by his facial expression. He was excited, great energy.
Can't hear him.
Well, he's on mute now again.
Let's see here. Is that a little bit better? Yeah. There we go.
All right, start all over. I want to see the whole
thing. Do the whole thing again.
There we go. Now we're on. Now we've got you guys. Great to be on.
Let's get straight to it, man. Is the Dodgers going undefeated this year?
I don't know about 162 or no. That might be a little bit of a tough ask. That would be pretty historic. And if they do go 162 and 0 and you bet on that, you'd be making yourself a whole truck ton of cash. But I can tell you right now, this is a very historic team. And my goodness, they're Noah's Ark right now. They've got two of everything. Like, they've got two of everything at every single position. They've got so many top flight starters. You know what? They're not Noah's Ark because they've got way more than two really, really good starters. Like, this is right now the Death Star in all Major League Baseball, and we're all witnesses to it.
No doubt. The Padres 6-0. The only two undefeated teams left. They're both in the same
shutouts
division.
Too.
Three shutouts. They're playing well. They just signed. I think they just signed somebody. Breaking news to a $9 million deal. Who was his name? The outfielder. It just happened.
Trying to think too, but yeah, they've been signing a lot of guys here in the offseason, and they've been so diligent in the late moves that they made, like picking up Dylan Cease just before the season last year. That was something that really impressed me. They've done a really good job in terms of just mixing and matching. And Jackson Merrill, that guy was number two in terms of the Rookie of the Year voting to Paul Skeens, which to be right there with Paul Skeens throughout this season for Rookie of the Year voting, you know that you're doing something special. That guy is going to be tremendous for them. When you've got Manny Machado, when you've got Fernando Tatis Jr. in that lineup as well, they're going to be a threat. And the only unfortunate part is that they have to go up against the Dodgers so many times a year.
Yeah, I'm a Dodger guy, LA guy, obviously sitting here. The Padres are fucking playing for second. Let's just be clear.
And the Diamondbacks, don't forget about the Diamondbacks. They're playing some good ball too.
Good team too. I think they're actually going to end up being the hardest out for the Dodgers this year, really? Contrary to belief. Yeah, I do. I think the Diamondbacks have the best pitching other than the Dodgers, 9 deep. I think the Dodgers have how many Cy Young possibilities? Kershaw could be moved to the damn bullpen later on as the 8th or 9th starter. He's like, what is he? I don't know what he's going to be. 8 or 9 maybe.
He's a Hall of Famer in the bullpen. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then Ohtani, if he wants to take the mound, like this just keeps stacking up. I don't know if anyone can beat this team, but it's going to be crazy. We had Brett Boone on a couple weeks ago, and he was on the Seattle historic team of 116 wins during the regular season, which is still a record, I believe. I know the Yankees won 125 when they won it all, I think, on their 3-peat run. But can this team beat that 116 win mark?
When I saw the odds in terms of them being able to break that mark, it was at plus $4 prior to their win yesterday. I think it's possible. I would say that with regards to the Dodgers, the biggest issue that you do have is health, because guys like Tyler Glasnow and company, they do tend to get a little bit injured. You do have some injuries. You even go back to last year with regards to that pitching. That's one concern that you do have with the LA Dodgers, but we even saw in the Tokyo series, they were without Mookie Betts and they were without Freddie Freeman, and they still looked like the best offense in all of baseball. Like, that's how deep this team is. So, would I bet on the plus $4 right now? Probably not. But at the same time, could they easily win 112 games, make sure that they're healthy for the postseason, win another World Series? Absolutely. I think that that's more than possible.
Speaking of Freddie Freeman, did he really do a slip and slide in the shower? Is he hurt?
Yeah, what happened with that?
Apparently he did. That I'm going to need to see a little bit more on because that happened overnight. But with Freddie Freeman, he's dealt with so many different injuries. Like he was going through the back thing during the postseason last year. As we remember, he was out of the Tokyo series. He pulled something like literally minutes before first pitch. So, Freddie Freeman does get a little bit injury prone. So we're going to need to check up on that. But even if Freddie Freeman is out, they didn't have him in Japan and they were just fine, won both of those games. So if you're a Dodgers fan, you shouldn't be feeling too concerned considering the Braves, who they're playing right now, 2 runs in their last 39 innings.
Ooh, man. Well, on the opposite side of that, we saw the other day the Yankees went on a phenomenal 2-game run, situation there, and now they're talking about potentially banning the torpedo bats. I gotta ask you, man, what's your take on that? I came on this show, I felt like it's not legally cheating, it's not technically cheating, but there's a reason why they put more of the wood pieces at the sweet spot, right? Because it's assisting with them hitting the ball. So to me, I don't think it should be allowed, but I'm the average baseball fan. What say you? What's your thoughts on that?
You're talking to someone that was born and raised in the great state of Wisconsin, spent my first 22 years there. So I root for the Milwaukee Brewers. That was just bad Brewers pitching. This Brewers pitching right now is just absolutely terrible. Now, do the Yankees know what they're doing? They absolutely do. And could it be outlawed at the end of the year? Sure. And if it's outlawed at the end of the year, the Yankees have to stop. But right now, they are playing within the confines of the rules. And if you're looking for any sort of an edge whatsoever, and you're not breaking any rules, this is not some sort of an Astro situation where they were putting on their buzzers or anything like that. If you're doing that, then you need to get rid of it. That needs to be done away with right away. But it
wasn't just the Yankees, though, not to cut you off. De La Cruz, I think last night or the other day, hit 2 home runs as well. And he was talking about how he loves the bat. So there's some sort of advantage here. I think we can all agree to that.
Oh, yeah, there's an advantage to it, but they're not the only ones using it as well. All 30 teams have free reign to the exact same thing, and until they say you have to stop using it, if you're any one of these teams, you need to get your engineers on this ASAP. You need to get the best advantage and strike while the iron's hot.
And by the way, Smitty, the bat's been around for over 20 years. Let's stop throwing this thing out that this is a new technology. It's not. And by the way, Aaron Judge don't use the bat. So stop it. It is what it is. Everyone can use the bat. It's been around, and somebody on every team in the major leagues used the bat, and they've been using the bat, Smitty. So I don't buy it.
But you want the tush push ban. That's another conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can't defend it. Here's the thing. Hey, Greg, real quick. Somebody in the chat here said that he's Davey Nelson's grandson, and he knows you'll know who he's talking about.
I've heard of Davey Nelson in the past. Absolutely. He used to be, I believe, a Brewers broadcaster. He's been around the game for a very long time. So absolutely. I've heard that name, Davey Nelson. I believe that he does some Brewers pre and post game hosting.
Isaiah, he don't know anything about what the fuck you're talking about. So don't ever mention it again in the chat. Hey, Greg, I'm just fucking with our chat. Greg, let's dive into some betting, man. I know you do betting and dabble into this space right now. So, like, I don't know if you go through division or however you do it, but like, where are you at with the money? Like, do you bet daily, weekly, a DFS? What do you do? Is this
I'm more of a game-to-game, everyday bettor. I'm more of a game-to-game guy because when it comes to futures, you just can't predict injuries. You can't foresee the future. I like to keep things one game at a time, one day at a time. That's personally the way that I operate. And my main 2 sports are MLB and college basketball. Obviously, dive into some football. I grew up 45 minutes away from Lambeau Field, so I'm a big NFL guy personally, but I really do like to be able to get a feel for everything day to day. And it's a old circumstance of you get out what you put in, and you just need to be committed to it. Like, if you're going to bet on baseball, you don't want to be diving in the month of April, take a 3-month break, and then decide to pick it up in July once again because you miss a whole heck of a lot of it. If you're trying to bet on college basketball, you don't want to be diving in on the NCAA tournament and miss like 3 months out of the slate. You need to know what's going on day in and day out. So that's why I do have the 2 sports that I have, because with baseball, it starts up right when college basketball ends, and right when baseball ends, college basketball begins. So keeps me busy 12 months out of the year.
You bet hockey too?
Not a ton of hockey. I did have one triumph back in the day. My first year out here in lovely Las Vegas, I remember the Golden Knights were going up against the Washington Capitals in the Stanley Cup. Was able to get 2-1 on the Capitals when they went down 1-0 in that Stanley Cup against the Golden Knights. They won the next 4 games. So that was one of the easier cashes of my life. Past that, I don't do a ton game to game with regards to hockey, but I do pay attention just because I'm out here in Las Vegas, and obviously the team around here with the Raiders still trying to take a little bit of a foothold is the Golden Knights.
No doubt. I know you dab in the hoops. I got to ask you, Final Four is here this weekend. What is it, Saturday and Monday for the Natty. Anybody other than Duke? I bet early on Houston just because of the odds and the money. I'm still comfortable with my bet. Am I crazy to go against Duke right now on a last-second deal?
I do think that Houston probably poses the biggest matchup issue to them. I personally am taking the +5 right now with Houston. I'm very close to taking the money line on them. I would rather have that safety net of the +5, but here's the one issue that I do have with Duke. Who have they really been challenged by all season long? What sort of close games have they played? And Houston is going to play them close. Houston has the same blueprint that Clemson did. Clemson is the last team that knocked off Houston. That was in early February. I believe that was Super Bowl week, as a matter of fact. And Clemson, they play slowly. They knock down their threes. They don't let you get in transition. Duke is not going to be able to get any of that against Houston, who, by the way, they are first in the country in terms of points allowed on a per-possession basis. And we all want to talk about Cooper Flagg, and rightfully so. He's a unicorn. He's an absolutely tremendous player. But how about Milos Uzan? How about we put a respect on this guy who, ever since his 21-game stretch, where Houston is 20-1 in that stretch, your lone loss came in overtime to Texas Tech, who made the Elite Eight. He has averaged in this time 14 points, 4 assists, 1.6 turnovers, shooting 50.6% from three-point range. A lot of people were wondering how they were going to replace Jamal Shed. Uzan has been better than Jamal Shed in this 21-game stretch. Houston is a dangerous team, and if any team is going to trip up Duke, it's going to be Houston. So I'm going to take that +5, and I think that there's a good chance that they win that game outright in their home state.
I'm going with Duke. I got Duke winning the whole thing. I think they have too many NBA guys on that roster. I think they're too deep. I do agree with you that Houston provides the biggest threat. I think the first half is going to be an incredibly close or back and forth game, but I think late in the second half, Duke will end up winning comfortably, 8 to 10 points. That's just my opinion. I think Duke at their best is just elite, and I think they're better than every other team. I have Duke winning the whole thing on my bracket, but I've been wrong before, Jason. So we shall.
Yeah, you're wrong more than you're right. So I'm gonna go with Greg here, and Houston's gonna get this thing done. I'm betting my money on Houston. I'm gonna keep it on Houston. Hey, Greg, I'm telling you, I think that they're gonna defend you full court the whole game. No one else does that, and then they're actually a better offensive team this year than they have been in the past with the same defensive tenacity. So I think this is the year they get over the hump. And like you said, they were on the road. I think undefeated on the road. They battle tested and had to go to Indiana and play a Purdue team that literally was in the state, a home following, and they beat both of those teams to come back to their home state. I think the momentum is in Houston's court. I think they have the home state love now that'll get them over the hump and pull off the upset. I got Houston. On the other side, Florida, maybe the best backcourt in basketball. Auburn's playing maybe as well as anybody. It's going to be a very interesting one on that side. I got Florida, Houston in the finals. I picked it before the bracket, and so I'm looking good there. But where do you see on that side?
I picked in my bracket Florida versus Houston in the title game as well. So we are both rooting for the exact same thing here. And with Auburn, the biggest thing with them is that G&I Broom is right now dealing with an injury. He did not practice here in the first few games, and I do think that he's going to be out there on Saturday. I don't think that there's any chance in the world that he misses the Final Four, but if he's not at 100%, that's their leader in points, that's their leader in rebounds, and for Florida, they actually knocked off this very same Auburn team on the road by 11 points about 2 months ago. They were without their number 2 scorer, Elijah Martin, in that game as well. Micah Handlogden, one of their top rebounders, he was still redshirting at the time. He burned his red shirt after that game. So this Florida team is even more dangerous than when they went on the road and knocked off Auburn by 11 points. Now you've got a banged up Broom. And for Florida, you've got Walter Clayton, who, the guy can make a shot from absolutely anywhere. They've got a guy in Alex Condon, who I believe deserves a little bit more credit. He's able to pop it from 3. He'll give you 7+ rebounds per game. This Florida team, top 25 in the country in opponents' 2-point and 3-point shooting percentage, while being a top 10 offense as well. This Auburn team is rock solid, but we saw them lose 3 out of 4 games going into the NCAA tournament. I believe that Florida is playing the best basketball. I believe Florida is a little bit deeper. And right now I'm seeing that line at 2.5. I'm willing to lay with Florida.
Now, Greg, I like that. But in the event that I'm actually right and Duke wins this whole thing, I've asked a lot of guests this week this question. if Duke wins the whole thing, will Cooper Flagg go down as having the greatest freshman season of all time, in your opinion?
I don't know how you can deny that. Like, with Cooper Flagg, he's going to win Player of the Year. That certainly is going to be the case. And how many freshmen have won Player of the Year? Never really happened before Kevin Durant was able to do so. And Kevin Durant was a nice player over at Texas. He didn't win a national championship. The one player that I would put up against him is Carmelo Anthony. We all remember what he was able to do at Syracuse. I mean, that was a historic run. But I would say Cooper Flagg has been even more of a conduit to victory for his Duke team rather than Carmelo Anthony as well. Because with Cooper Flagg, not only is it the scoring, it's also the rebounding. It's also the defense. It's a highlight reel of plays. So I would have to agree with you. I would say that if Duke is able to win the national title, we have to look at Cooper Flagg as having the best one and done season in the history of college basketball.
Yeah, we had Daniel Ewing on yesterday, former Dookie, current scout with the Lakers, and he was talking about Okafor, the year he had as a rookie or as a freshman, and what he got accomplished. And there's Anthony Davis out there as well, and we've seen a lot of rookies. I mean, freshmen. I call them rookies now because of fucking NIL, but we've seen some freshmen that have been special. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But Shaun King, who's a Duke Blue Devil fan who comes on our show after you, Super Bowl champ, he swears up and down that he'll be the first ACC Player of the Year, Tournament MVP, and Player of the Year. So Wooden Award winner. So I don't know. We're going to see if he can get the trifecta. Real quick, Greg, I got to ask you some questions before you leave here. Back to baseball real quick, since we are set, 8 games deep. The Dodgers started the season over in Tokyo, comes back over here and continue their win streak. I got to ask you first. Atlanta started off here in San Diego. We're in California, obviously, and then traveled up the road to L.A. They haven't won a game yet. Is Atlanta Braves, are the fans for Atlanta out here, are they in trouble?
It's rough, to say the least. I don't think that they're going to go 0-162. I think that you can feel rest assured that that's not going to be the case. But you do have to be concerned because the Braves last year, they really hung their hat on pitching, and the pitching hasn't been bad. Has it been amazing? No, you would like to see Chris Sale give up fewer than 3 runs than he did yesterday. But again, 2 runs scored in the last 39 innings. One of those starts was by Nick Pivetta. He was a journeyman with the Boston Red Sox. Not a terrible pitcher, but not a guy that you'd think would be lighting the world on fire. They absolutely need to get Ronald Acuna Jr. back. And Matt Olson, Austin Riley, these guys that were so amazing in 2023, they just have fallen off a cliff. And we remember in 2023, that Atlanta Braves offense wasn't just good. It wasn't just great. It was historic. What the heck has happened? I think that those are very fair questions to be asking right now. And if the Atlanta Braves, they don't need to get back to 2023 levels of offense, but if they can't get back to being above league average with regards to that offense, you should be very concerned when you're in a division with the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you. If we're speaking about tonight, before you get out of here, and I can't thank you enough for joining us, we got to have you on more often. Let me ask you a lock pick for tonight.
Yeah, come on, make some money.
I know you. You got your own picks. You don't got to give us too many secrets. I know you're doing an in-depth deal on your own, but we got our betting service that we use here, and I just want to be clear. Do you have one lock pick of the night for our audience here watching? We got over 2,000 people in here. Who do you got as a lock?
Now, I will always say this. The only locks that are happening are with regards to Locksmith. But that said, something that I do feel pretty good about, the under in this Cardinals versus Angels game. Yusei Kikuchi, ever since he got traded to the Houston Astros, very rock solid. Sonny Gray is just a different pitcher when he's at home as well. Since getting acquired by the Cardinals, sub-3 ERA when he's in St. Louis, half a home run allowed per 9 innings. These two teams played extra innings yesterday. Now they've got a 12:15 p.m. Central Time start time. So that's a very tight turnaround for those hitters. Mike Trout doesn't look like himself as well. So under 8.5 in the Cardinals versus the Angels is something that's really catching my fancy.
All right. I might have to lay that. Let me ask you, the Angels 4-1. Surprised?
I am quite surprised. I did not have high expectations for the Angels, and the way that they're doing it is actually with their bullpen. They signed Kenley Jansen in the offseason, which if you put Kenley Jansen in a big-time pressure spot on national TV, he crumbles every time. You put him on some sort of mundane game where nobody's watching, he's dynamite every single time, and guess what? With the LA Angels, not in a lot of pressure spots. So he's been rock solid, and they've got this guy that's able to throw north of 105 miles per hour in Ben Joyce. So he's been a big reason why. You get just 5 solid innings out of your starters, you turn it over to that bullpen. The Angels might be able to surprise some people, and an AL West I think is pretty wide open.
Let me ask you, AL West transition to the East. Is this the cream of the crop as far as divisions in the American League? Or is this the deepest division with Toronto, Baltimore, Tampa's 4-1 started off hot, and then you got the Yankees, of course, who finally lost a game, and the Red Sox, who a lot of people are betting to go to the World Series and play my Doyers. Where are you at with this the AL East?
I think without a doubt it's the most deep division because with the AL Central, while they got those 3 playoff teams last year, a lot of them were beneficiaries of the Chicago White Sox losing 121 games. If you don't get that, you probably don't get 3 teams into the postseason. So I do agree with you. And a lot of people did forget about the Tampa Bay Rays, who the offense leaves something to be desired. You know that bullpen's going to be rock solid. You know that they're going to play their own version of Moneyball with Kevin Cash, just mixing and matching. Doesn't pan out in the postseason, but over the term of 162 games, they're always feisty. You mentioned it with the Yankees, what they're doing. You mentioned it with the Red Sox. Absolutely. Deepest division out there in the American League.
Yeah, and then out of the Central, real quick, are you surprised, or are you expecting the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros to battle that out, or is there a surprise team in that division you like?
I do think that they're going to be battling it out. I would say that the Athletics have a little bit of upside. I had some good thoughts on them prior to the start of the season, but what I think is going to be very interesting, take the over in the Athletics home games because they are playing in the most pitcher-friendly ballpark, in my opinion, in all of baseball in Oakland. Now they go to Sacramento. They give up 18 runs in that first game against the Chicago Cubs. Game easily on Tuesday flies over the total. The PCL, which is a Pacific Coast League, it is notorious for very high-scoring games. That's where Sacramento is located in. That's the home of, I believe it's the Riverhawks or something like that in terms of that AAA team. I would say if you're liking something out there in the American League West, take the over in those athletic games until they adjust because they are setting these totals way too low.
So you like them tonight versus the Cubs, or actually this afternoon in Sacramento. It might be a little rainy. It's rainy in California right now. They're in Sacramento against the Cubs. The A's, as they transition to Las Vegas, where you're at, building that beautiful park there and, entertainment capital of the world. You think the money is on the A's before they actually get to the home of money in Las Vegas, huh?
I think the real money is actually on the over once again. And I'm seeing that total at 8.5. Jeffrey Springs, a really nice first start against the Seattle Mariners. But that said, this is a ballpark that just really plays the hitters, and Brent Rooker can mash. You've got a guy in Lawrence Butler that was really able to get it going towards the back half of the season last year. So I'm looking at that 8.5, and I'm really liking the over in that spot. And I did set the Cubs as a little bit of a favorite. I do think that the Cubs, their numbers just got down a little bit too far because we saw what happened in that Tokyo series. They get lambasted in those 2 games against the LA Dodgers. They have to go on the road against the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'd be willing to take a shot at plus money on the Cubs. Right now, seeing them right around like even money plus 105.
Last thing for you, because you know so much about baseball. The Red Sox, obviously, a lot of people's picks to go to the World Series. They're starting off 1-4, and a lot of people thought the Yankees were going to struggle until midway through the season with all the injuries and everything. The Yankees start off hot, the Red Sox start off cold. That's just what baseball is, a long season. Any concerns for the Red Sox?
The one concern I have is someone pull the blindfold off of Rafael Devers. It's as if he's trying to audition for, I believe that the Sandra Bullock movie is The Bird Box.
Yes.
Like that's what I think he's doing right now. He's trying to audition in the batter's box for the next edition of that movie, and he's doing a great job because, man, he cannot find a hit to save his life. But other than that, I think that they're going to be fine. Alex Bregman, who they signed in the offseason, a notoriously slow starter. Garrett Crochet was not throwing past 4 innings for the second half of the season because the White Sox were utilizing him with kid gloves. I do think that the Red Sox are going to be able to turn things around, but the question is it going to be a little bit too late? Because we just mentioned it. Yankees are rock solid. The Baltimore Orioles, I think, are going to be good as well. Ironically enough, they play against the Orioles on the road tonight as well. So I do think that they need to snap out of it sooner rather than later. Wouldn't panic too much due to 5 games, though.
Last thing, just give me some picks on some players real quick on your thoughts. I'm a big Cam Smith guy out there in Houston. I think this guy could be special. He could be very special. And then as far as your Cy Young or MVP, any odds on favorites this early in the year that you think our locks in individual awards. Cy Young, maybe MVPs for each division. I don't know. I like Cam Smith. I like Cam Smith. I'm just telling you, I think he's special in Houston. They got him a special one there. But where are you at with the individual accolades?
If I had to bet on anyone with regards to an individual award, Shohei Ohtani for MVP, anyone, like right now you're able to get that at plus money. And the guy, if he even throws like just a few innings this season, we saw the way that he was able to win that award last season. I mean, the guy is just absolutely stellar. So that's the one that I'd be looking at the most. I recognize that's not some sort of a like out there long shot or anything like that, but that's certainly something that I'd be looking at. And then if you're looking a little bit more at the rookie of the year odds, I know that you were liking Cam Smith, and I do think that at 7-1, you're getting really good value there. Christian Campbell's right now the favorite there, and I do think that he's a rightful favorite, but I do think that Smith at 7-1, he provides a little bit of value. But if you're looking in the National League, you do have a guy on the Atlanta Braves by the name of AJ Smith-Schwaber, who's 14-1. He got a little bit of a cup of coffee at the big league level in 2023. I actually really like his stuff. And for the Braves right now, with the offense being so anemic, they're going to really need to rely upon that pitching. I think that Smith-Schwaber gives you a little bit of an opportunity, like what I saw from him in that first start.
Hey, Greg, real quick, as you walk out of here, I can't thank you enough. Paul Skeens, if I bet the plus 200, and I'm willing to bet he's the NL Cy Young, would you say I'm crazy?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, Paul Skeens had a historic year last year. The only team that tagged him up for north of 3 runs was the LA Dodgers on the road. Like, this guy is absolutely historic. We got to actually see him in college as well, which that's something that baseball has been missing for a long time, being able to see these guys go from college to pro. He's just an absolutely elite pitcher. So, I mean, there's nobody that I could put up against him right now for NL Cy Young. We'll see what happens during the season, but I bet on him right now.
Last thing, Greg, you're amazing. That's it. That's all I got. We appreciate you, man.
You.
Beautiful. Yes, sir, man.
One more thing. I'm just fucking with you, Greg. We always say that. Hey, can't thank you enough. We'll have to have you again, man.
Absolutely. Pleasure, my guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. Good luck.
Clap up, y'all, man, for my main man, Greg Peterson, man. Know of all things betting, know of all things baseball, college basketball, March Madness. He just gave you some free game on some picks to make, whether it's tonight, whether it's futures bet, whether it's parlays. So you better go to BetUS or wherever your platform that you use. BetUS is where I go, of course. It's the best one. Go there and do your thing, man. That's the place to go. Shout out to my guy, GP, man. I ain't seen Greg in a long time, man. Good to see him.
You know?
Yeah, we go back.
I like him. He might have to be our regular baseball betting guy.
Hey, y'all, chat. Did y'all notice how JB literally said last thing 7 times and then said before you leave?
I was trying to see if I break the record. I was not trying to break the record. I would have kept the motherfucker on.
Let's try to break it with our next guest later on today. What's the record? Is it 10? Is it 10 times?
I'm not sure, but we got NFL draft spectacular analytics specialist extraordinaire, breaks down all things NFL drafts. He's going to be on later on today, so can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. So
what did Jesse Loon say in the chat? Never mind.
Who?
Jesse Loon said something in the chat, but it's not important. But hey, man, should we do a quick break? Because I know we got so many guests coming on. Should we do a quick 3-minute break just to have a little bit of time before
Jesse?
We get the rolling, huh?
Trying to look for who said something.
Barely know I'm talking. I'm being petty. Don't worry about it. I'm being petty.
Yeah, the next guy works. Our next guest that comes on, I believe, later on in the show, obviously is going to break. He works for NFL media, and he'll be breaking down all things NFL draft. So you can ask him about your Andy Dalton, Shedeur Sanders comparison. But yeah, we'll take a break. I gotta get a coffee, Smitty. I'm gonna re-energize, do 150 push-ups real quick in the 3 minutes, and then
okay,
and then
I'm gonna
we'll
do
come
151.
back. Huh?
I'm gonna do 151.
Yeah, and then we'll come back, and Shaun King will join us in about 30 minutes, and then we'll talk about USC landing a big-time hometown backyard recruit.
Okay.
Good friend of mine's son. So we'll dive into that. The modern day Monarch D tackle, one of the best players in America. USC gets to keep him for now. We'll dive into that on the other side of this break. Peace. Rocky. Big name. Another big Dodger get. Young, big time Japanese pitcher has basically been rocked his first 2 outings, Smitty. Where you at with this, and why do you think you're seeing teary eyes? Because I talked to Joe Accord, and I was like, Joe, how was the winds? Was it gusty? And he was like, no wind at all in Chavez Ravine. I was like, let me look into it. No particles hit him in the face or nothing, no reason. So he had no wind, no issues, nothing hit his eyes. He was clearly fine. So he was fine. He got rocked. Dave Roberts pulled him out, and he ran to the car and cried. He ran to the car. He ran to the car. He ran to the car.
Break this down. Is he really crying? I don't see no tears coming down his face. Number one.
He gonna go cry in the car.
I think his eyes are a little watery. He's a little emotional. He's 23 years old. He's a rookie. He's in a brand new country, and he's having a horrible start. He's disappointed in himself. And me as an athlete and a competitor, I respect this. I'm glad he's upset. I used to be pissed off when I had a bad practice or a bad game, and we go in the film room, and my coach Wilt, in Ball State, is like replaying my play and showing me how I messed up, and I know it's on me, and I'm disappointed in myself because I know the work that I put in to play better. And then when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, and I let my teammates down, it's a disappointing feeling. Now everybody's emotions comes out differently. I might get quiet for a little while, and I might go, self-talk, or I might go listen to music. I might be mad. I might be something. Like, everybody shows their emotions differently. At the end of the day, an emotion isn't a sign of weakness. It's all emotion. You yelling, JB, and spazzing out, that's emotion. You just show it. That's the way you show it. He's in his own little zone. Again, he got a lot going through his head, and it's probably he just got pulled out. It's probably hitting him right now. I don't think this means he's not going to be a good player. It's been it's been a handful of games. Like, we're just at the beginning of the season. He had a moment. I'm sure this young man's going to bounce back and have a hell of a career, and we're not even going to remember this moment. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this is nothing. It doesn't mean he's soft or sad or he's just that. I think he's going to have he has a chance to have a really good career, be a good player, have a really good season. Forget career, a good season. It's a lot of pressure, man, on the young guy. Especially on this loaded team who just won a championship last year and who's expected to repeat. There's people saying we had guys come on our show saying, these guys could win 3 times, I think. Like, what I'm saying? Like, this team is loaded, and he understands that. So I just think there's a lot of emotions going through his head, and that's where he's at.
Yeah. Please, all you in the chat that are talking about if somebody cries after winning or losing a championship is the same thing as this kid who's through 5 games. Stop comparing the two. Stop comparing a 23-year-old kid that has no fucking idea what a championship is. Stop comparing that to this. Okay, first of all, let me address you clowns in the chat that are going to say that. Number one, because I already know you guys. Number 2, Smitty, are you mad when JB lost in the Natty and cried? A little different. A little fucking different, number 1. Number 2, real quick, 23 years old, and you gave him how much money? So, Bailey, can you give me his contract? I don't know if you know his salary, because he's one of the biggest paid cats there are, right? I want to be clear here. And see, I love it when Smitty and everybody else wants to mention, well, JB, he's only 23. Stop, homie. Because I'm tired of dealing with that shit. I'm tired of hearing that shit. I'm tired of you defending not you, Smitty. I'm tired of everyone out here defending 17 to 21-year-olds in college, calling them kids getting paid a bag of money and then not show up for work. Yes, sir. We are back in the building. Shout out to all the guests joining us, man. We got a special one joining us here. NFL media extraordinaire. Breaks down all things NFL draft and does power rankings. Follow him. Eric _ Edholm. on X, and I'm not sure if he's on Instagram or not. I got to find him myself. But let's bring my main man in, Eric Edholm, talk some NFL draft. Eric, appreciate you joining us.
Hey, what's going on? No Instagram for me. I'm not taking on any new social media platforms at this time. I'm sorry.
There's so many platforms there. You got TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. It's hard to keep up with everything, so we get it.
Yeah, my kids are always making fun of me, like, you don't have Instagram? I was like, yeah, all right, whatever.
You do TikTok?
Man, at this point.
You got TikTok? You do TikTok?
Oh my gosh, no. The name alone scared me off. Sorry.
They're about to ban TikTok again, I think, in a couple of days. So you're making the right move.
Good. They ban me anyway. They ban me every day anyway. So, Eric, I appreciate you joining us, man. I got to ask you right out the gate. I saw that you posted some stuff, and I'm a guy that is called, Shanahan and Lynch. This loaded roster in Frisco. I call them a very overhyped, underachieving group. That's just how I am. Plus, I'm a Ram fan, so I'm glad when I see them lose. But let me ask you, has this staff underachieved with this roster? And now, after losing so much this offseason and basically putting all their eggs in one basket, and basically looks like they're going to sign Purdy to a big deal. I don't know if I'd give him anything over 45. They're talking about 60. I saw you posted something. What's your take on this 49er debacle or scenario, however word you want to use? And then what's going on with Purdy? Why hasn't Purdy signed? I guess my biggest question after they've released everybody already.
Yeah, that's a great question. Obviously, I think everybody kind of started to realize, look, I mean, they're going to get this, or the plan seemed to be they were going to get this deal done. You could kind of figure that out later stage of the last season, even if things weren't going well. I mean, what other choice do they really have? I guess they could have waited, right? I mean, he's still got another year left on his deal, so they could have played chicken with him, and they still can technically. And you hear some, I guess, muted optimism from guys like Jed York and John Lynch, in the sense that, hey, like, he wants to be here, we want him here, we're trying to come together. And I realize it. It's like the impatience of everybody saying, well, why isn't it done? And why are we letting all these good players walk out the door after a 6-11 season where we were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders, right? I think most people would have had him. I'm a power rankings guy, as you mentioned. I had him in my top 5 coming off the Super Bowl loss. And, I sort of felt like, all right, it's going to be hard, but they can do it again, right? Didn't happen last year. Now it becomes less easy to see the path there, even if they are only 1 year removed from being one of the best teams in football. So obviously, I think if the deal does get done, it'll happen relatively soon. It'll be relatively in the range of what everyone's predicting, and I'm sure everyone will be unhappy about it in some way or another. But I think it's the necessary move, and they're kind of realizing they have to swallow hard a little bit and make some tough decisions to get to that point. But they also have a lot of draft capital, and they have even with some misses along the way in the draft, no doubt, but they've also found some pretty good players, some of whom signed elsewhere this offseason.
Yeah, no doubt. My last question before Smitty jumps in, I want to ask you about this Aaron Rodgers thing. Is this a post-draft wait? Is I guess my biggest thing. I know Smitty has some more in-depth questions, but like, is he waiting? Is this going to be an after the draft scenario, or is this going to happen this week? I mean, I'm hearing McAfee and everyone's posted it's a pretty much done deal after we see him out here at LA throwing with DK Metcalf, their latest addition at wideout. Is this a done deal, foregone conclusion? I know him and Tomlin have a deal, or is it post-draft? Because I'd be hard-pressed to see the Steelers wait till 21 and sit there waiting on a Jalen Milroe or someone like that. I just don't see it, and they got to win now, right? Tomlin has to win now with the team that's pretty set up to go to the playoffs, at least his reputation. Long-winded question, but is this after the draft scenario for Aaron Rodgers to sign?
I mean, it could be, but boy, he'd be taking a risk in waiting, because can the Steelers afford to wait at that point? Now, granted, it's not as if there's this long list of teams that's sitting there saying, oh, now we can get our hands on Aaron Rodgers. No, I mean, the only team that's really sort of kind of been connected to them has been the Minnesota Vikings. And the Vikings have sent out indications like, yeah, we did consider the Aaron Rodgers option. Not saying it's dead, but it's not looking real alive right now in Minnesota. It seems like JJ McCarthy's going to be the guy. So, it's not like Aaron has a ton of leverage. So I guess the Steelers could try to, sort of assume that he's on board and go through the draft. Let's say we get to April 24th and they don't know his status and they don't know where he stands. He's off in Egypt or he's off doing an ayahuasca retreat or something like that, the jungle or whatever. And they can't get a hold of him. They decide, like, we're at 21. Jackson Dart is here. Do we take him? Those are the decisions they're going to have to make in real time. I don't know if that's going to end up happening. Maybe, heck, there's been some smoke that maybe the Jets could take Dart at 7 or, Shedeur Sanders could go there too or whatever. I mean, there are a lot of unknowns right now with the quarterback situations. I think everybody is a little bit down on the class as a whole, but I think there's also a belief that one of these guys could turn out to be a gem. And so I suspect it would probably get done at some point, but before the draft. And I haven't checked the schedule, but apparently there's going to be a Pat McAfee show in Pittsburgh. People are kind of making connections. Maybe it could drop then. I have to look and see when that is, but I believe it's before the draft. So who knows? I mean, I really don't know what the answer is going to be, but the breadcrumbs seem to kind of lead in a trail towards him ending in Pittsburgh at some point.
Yeah, it makes the most sense right now. Like you said, his options are limited, so we shall see. But one name you just mentioned, during that take was Shedeur Sanders, and I know for those who don't know, you are the mock draft king, and you did have a mock draft 2.0 that you did recently that I saw the other day, and you actually had a scenario where the Cleveland Browns actually draft Abdul Carter and Shedeur Sanders in the first round. Could you please break that down and kind of explain just that scenario of how that could potentially happen?
Yeah, let's see if I can double down on the hatred I received for actually projecting that. I had a lot of people going, worst mock draft ever, dude. Okay, maybe it is. And as I wrote, I do 3 mock drafts for NFL.media. I do one late January. I did one last week, and then I'll do one kind of the Monday or the Tuesday, I think, of draft week. So the second one, I do like to kind of play around a little, project some trades. And they're not just, hey, let's pull these out of left field. Let's actually think about which teams might want to trade down, which ones are eager to come up. How do we find that marriage? And if the Browns can find a way to have their cake and eat it too, and that would be getting another edge rusher to pair with Myles Garrett. They managed to keep him. Huge offseason victory. They were looking like the 32nd ranked team in a lot of ways, just from vibes alone, right? I mean, coming off last season and their awful quarterback situation, Garrett wanting a trade. That's one thing you crossed off the list. Probably still need another bit of help there. I think they would entertain the idea of Travis Hunter too, especially because he could play 2 positions they probably could use help at. I mean, corner less so, but wide receiver for sure. I still think Carter would be the option at 2 if I had to, sort of put my name behind it right now. Yeah. But then the question becomes, how far does Sanders slide? Do the Giants pass on him at 3? Do the Jets pass on him at 7? Do the Saints pass on him at 9? Is there another team along the way? Look, I know the Indianapolis Colts have said that their plan is to go into camp with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson splitting snaps. Maybe that works. Maybe it doesn't. I see the face palm. I fear you.
I'm from Indianapolis, so I'm a Colts fan. So I'm
okay. I didn't mean to open some wounds there, man. I'm saying, man. But there are some spots where you could at least entertain the idea. Pittsburgh, we obviously mentioned as a possibility too. So they have to navigate the Browns and any other team who likes Shedeur, and they have to figure out where is a good landing spot where we don't have to give up the farm and also secure a guy who I believe, if you watch Shedeur's game and you watch the successful quarterbacks in Kevin Stefanski's system, are a pretty good match. He's a tough, accurate pocket passer, a rhythm guy, doesn't have the wildest arm, doesn't have extraordinary athleticism despite his DNA and his last name and all that, but I think has some real translatable skills to a Stefanski system. So they're just the team that, to me, makes the most sense. Whether it gets done, whether they can make a move up from 33 or 34, whichever pick they have in round 2, to get something like that done, we'll see how far are they willing to go, and are they willing to possibly trade up into the top 10 to do so? That's why I kind of picked a spot in between the top 10 and then, some of those later teams like Pittsburgh, who might be quarterback needy teams.
Yeah, I got buddies that obviously I got 28 kids playing, and I got a bunch of friends coaching in that league. And I've heard from some coaching friends of mine that they're like, one of the reasons that they're staying away from a Shedeur is the fact that he has really yet to compete or show that he's competed against anybody of significance for that number 1 QB spot, and willingly, understandingly so, right? His dad was the coach at both places.
Sure.
So that's kind of a question that's being raised by some coaching friends of mine. And that's what GMs are actually, with the pick, are they going to say, all right, are we taking the name brand to fill our seats on ticket sales, or are we taking a guy that's ready to come in and compete? And in the Giants standpoint, shit, Russell Wilson, the Super Bowl champ, and Jameis Winston, a big arm guy that can throw the ball over the place. I don't think Brian Daboll has the time to draft that rookie. I think he's been told, shit, or get out the pot time. You got to win now. I don't know if he can win with a rookie when they have so many holes. And like I said, they're the one team, in my opinion, and I'm not a draft specialist, the one team, in my opinion, that can afford to pass on a Abdul Carter because they do have Thibodeau and Burns.
Yep.
And go get an Ashton Genty, which I think's my dark horse get to fix the debacle with Saquon. So, like, I think they have to make it right. You know what I mean? They have to make it right at some point with the loss of Saquon and say, hey, man, it's time to eat crow. We screwed up. We got to address our fan base that we're flying helicopters and planes over our stadium, wanting guys fired. We got to address the elephant in the room and say, hey, maybe this is the guy. Because everything I've heard, and I've had buddies coach him, says he is a Saquon-like guy. He's not as fast burst 40-wise, but he's a Saquon guy. Build, lower extremities, can squat, can burst, can jump cut, can catch the ball in the backfield. He can do some things. Not as dynamic as Saquon at all, in my opinion. But can he be a steal at that spot? It could be too early, but this is the deepest class in running back, I believe, in this draft.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, I had a guy in the summer of it was last summer. Yeah. Last summer after the 23 season, prior to the 24 season, I was actually watching Genty and Omarion Hampton and Travion Henderson, some of the top backs. And usually what I like to do is sort of like familiarize myself with the top 50 type guys, or the top 25 at least, right at that point. And I'm watching them, and I texted a West Coast scout who I know who lives up in that area. And I was like, who does this guy remind you of? And he's like, he's kind of a mini LT, like LaDainian Tomlinson. This is before last year when he put up a Heisman caliber season. I know he didn't win it, but you might get scared off by 5'8", but I don't. I mean, not you. I mean, anybody, right?
Right.
But man, he can do a lot. I think his best trait is contact balance and fighting through contact to get extra yards. And sometimes that doesn't translate. Sometimes that does. It depends on the player. But I think, his receiving ability is a little bit undersold. You saw it more in 2023. He's got a super low center of gravity, great vision, great change of direction. I think he's just got a lot of translatable skills to the NFL. The question is, I guess, do you feel like you can get 85% of Ashton Genty in round 2 or 3? You might be able to. I think there's some darn good backs in this class. There's some really excellent ones.
The Iowa kid and the other. There's some guys out there. I know there's some guys out there. Before Smitty asks questions, I gotta know this. Is it a foregone conclusion? Cam Ward's won to Tennessee. They're gonna make another QB take. We've seen the Malik Willises of the world. He was traded for a Chico stick and string cheese. Then you go get a big arm guy in Will Levis. I thought they should have went and got a bridge gap veteran this year because there's too many holes there. They just keep rolling the dice with QBs in early rounds. Is this a foregone conclusion, Cam Ward to Tennessee?
I don't know that it's a foregone conclusion, but it's darn close right now. You saw them bring in Brandon Allen, who is obviously with Callahan in Cincinnati. I think a pretty, trusted guy as number 2, but you're not projecting him as a starter. And after last year. I mean, it's nothing personally against Will, but that's going to be a tough sell. He'd have to outperform somebody in camp by a measurable amount, I think, to earn any immediate credibility as a starter. And a lot of people like Will. I mean, there are people who say, like, look, you know, he's sort of fought through all the demons last year and tried. It did get better a little bit, but yeah, I don't know that you could really sell him as a potential starter, but I think it's becoming more and more likely by the day. They're also probably putting on a little bit of a show to see, is somebody going to blow us away with an offer? What will the Giants pony up if they're so willing? I don't think now that's a realistic possibility with Wilson and Jameis there. But again, just back to the Giants real quick. I mean, I think they're going to draft a quarterback because Russell on a 1-year deal, Jameis 2-year deal at minimal money, not considered a real starting option other than maybe a bridge guy. Are they a Jackson Dart team? Are they a Jalen Milroe team? Is there somebody else that kind of tempts them a little bit? Quinn Ewers further down? I don't know. I think you'll see them kind of take some, maybe not the full Monty towards quarterback, but they're going to take somebody in this draft at that position. I just don't think it's going to be at 3. And yeah, I don't know. This is a really interesting draft. It's not the best draft, but the fascination of it, I think that level is pretty high for dorks like me who like to dig into the nitty gritty on this stuff.
No, I did. I agree with you.
Yeah. There's so many different options, and it never goes exactly how any of us, think think it will. It's always a last minute trade, and someone sneaks into the first round that we didn't expect. I want to ask you specifically about the receivers in this draft. Is there, I guess, if I put you on the spot, who would you say will be the first receiver you think that'll go off the board? Are you thinking it's?
I think it's down to 2 guys, and it's going to depend on which team sort of pulls the trigger. It's not a great year at receiver. We've been kind of blessed with riches, I would say, in recent years. Probably 8 of the last 10 years we've had terrific classes of wide receiver. This year just doesn't match up, in my opinion. There are enough questions with each of the top guys. Teteroy McMillan from Arizona is a fascinating guy because he does sort of fit that Mike Evans, Drake London body size. The 40 time at his workout was good enough for his size, mid 4.5s. That's what you're looking for. I mean, Mike Evans is a 4.3 guy. Drake London, I think, was maybe 4.51, something like that. So he checked enough boxes where I think there's a good chance he's the first receiver. I would sort of put it at like 65-35. But Matthew Golden from Texas, it's funny because I don't think anyone truly views him as a number 1, but I think they view him as an excellent Robin to a Batman. I guess, well, there are a lot of teams that have those strong duos, but you'd love to sort of pair him up with maybe a little bit more of a physical or bigger bodied guy. But for a 4.29 40 guy, you didn't see him running, 9 routes and 7s and all the deep shots that you'd expect. He kind of ran like a little bit of a Brandon Cooksy route tree, some short stuff, some intermediate stuff, and then the occasional deep route as well. But with that speed, and I think the right situation, whether it's a Green Bay or a Dallas or wherever, he could be a quality deep threat in this league. And I have seen him track deep balls and do a pretty good job on it. So those are the 2 that I feel like have the best shot to be the first receiver taken. And again, maybe it's 60-40, 65-35, but I would say McMillan has maybe a few more routes to be the first one taken. It's hard to say, though. And I think Luther Burden, Emeka Egbuka, Jaden Higgins, guys like that, there's a lot of intrigue and volatility to their draft status where they could go, but they're more of that second tier, I believe.
Yeah, I'll go back. The Giants are the fascinating one we keep going back to at 3. There is no Joe Alt. Like, there's no big-time tackle in this draft, in my opinion, that's going to change something. So I do think this is the worst QB draft in my lifetime. I'm going to stand on it. But having said that, like, there's no big-time tackle. We got pass rushers, a lot of them. We got a lot of running backs. Not as good as wideouts. Yeah, you've said it. So, like, what do you do if you're Brian Daboll, though, on basically a lame duck deal? Like, this is it for him and the GM, in my opinion, especially after Hard Knocks and the Saquon deal. Where are you at with this Giants roster? Like, what holes are needed to be filled ASAP? Because I agree that Ashton Genty thing's a long shot. I do believe you, and they'll take a quarterback over Ashton Genty. But to my point, the O-line is horrific still. Like, it doesn't matter who they bring in at QB or running back. They got so many holes. How do you fix that in this draft?
Yeah, I think what they feel like is, John Runyon's going to help, and they've made little, they expect more from Schmitz in his now, I guess, third year, Andrew Thomas, one of the better left tackles when he's healthy. So I think there's a little bit of hope that group kind of holds up. I'm with you though. I feel like they still need help, especially at right guard, right tackle. I think those are the spots that they would probably most likely target. And of course, when we have this discussion about the best receiver a second ago, I mean, Travis Hunter is some team's number one receiver as well as being a corner. I've actually heard more receiver buzz lately than I have corner. It depends on which team you talk to. I don't know how the Giants specifically feel about Hunter, but he crosses off a lot of boxes, right? I mean, he could be, well, I mean, I guess Malik Neighbors would be their best receiver, but he could be a starting receiver or a starting cornerback on this team. They've lost some guys this offseason, Adore and things like that. So Paulson Adebo, Deion Banks probably going to be your outside receivers or your outside corners, excuse me. But he could help there. Maybe he's in your red zone package as a defender, and you use him as a mostly full-time receiver when they go 3 and 4 wide and things like that. So you have a player who's able to impact two different positions. Maybe not the most glaring biggest need, but certainly two needs that I think are pretty big. And now you have Neighbors, Tyrone Tracy, who's a good player last year, I thought, for them. They brought back Darius Slayton. I like Wan'Dale Robinson as a slot receiver. I think he's a good little player. And you add Hunter to that receiver mix. And, look, if there's one thing Russ can do, it's sling the deep ball. And that might end up being what they do. And I'll be fascinated to see what plan B is, what the next phase of their operation is if they do take Hunter. How do they attack the O-line? How do they add more help in other spots as well?
Let me ask you something regard to this. If I were to tell you that they should draft, if I'm their GM, I'm drafting Carter, and I'm trading Burns and that money for some assets. I already got Thibodeau. I'm going to go get now a younger cat that I don't have to pay big money to as a rookie on a rookie deal, even though it's first round money he'll get. But as far as a rookie deal, and then get rid of that Burns contract and go get me a couple things. I know people would take that. Is there any scenario and you take best option available, which would be Abdul Carter, in my opinion, at that spot. But they don't need D-line like that either. So I'm just trying to weigh it out.
Yeah, it's a great question. Let's say Cleveland throws us a curveball at number 2 or doesn't take Carter. Let's just say that. Let's say it goes Ward, Hunter, or a quarterback for that matter. And then the Giants are sitting there going, okay. Do we supplement what is technically a team strength right now and hope to make that kind of a move, trading Burns or whatever, or even possibly trading Thibodeau? Maybe you get more value because of his contract and because of his age. I don't know. Again, we're just kind of throwing some stuff out there, right? It's possible they just say, look, he's too good to pass up. Maybe the Genty option is the surprise out of nowhere pick or something like that. But in that scenario, I think if you're Joe Schoen, as much pressure as you're feeling right now to win now and be good now, you're still getting a player in Abdul Carter who I think could be absolutely special. You can absolutely impact the defense right away. And you can find ways to get all these guys on the field if you are sort of stuck with them. You can never have enough pass rushers. You hear that all the time in the league. And I believe it to be true. I think when you have an army of rushers, just look at the Eagles, right? They're a good example of that. Then you can have pretty good success defensively. So I would think that's the way they would go. If Carter was still there at 3, I don't think they'd let him get to New England at 4. I think they would probably take him.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you this. I know we mentioned the possibility of Genty going to the Giants, but everything I've been hearing, from different specialists have said that Genty is almost, it sounds like a lock to the Raiders if he's available at that. I think that's 6th spot. I think is what they got. Any insight you have on Genty to the Raiders, and I guess how real is that move?
Yeah, it's funny. That first mock I did late January, it was like the week of Senior Bowl, and I was scrambling and trying to, get whatever information I was getting in the first sort of 48 hours down there and, put it in my mock and change things. And I was sitting there at 6, and I'm like, Pete Carroll's the coach. They need offensive playmakers. Let's put them there. I got a lot of crap for that one, let me tell you. Really? And now all of a sudden, that's the kind of the vogue pick. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I feel like it made some sense then, and it still does now. Especially with Geno on board. At that point, Geno had not come to the Seahawks. So, most of the people complaining about the pick were saying, hey, what about a quarterback? I get that, right? Now that that need's been taken, look, it's nothing against like Zamir White and the guys they have in the backfield, but they need some juice back there. They need somebody who can really help a guy out. And Geno's been great when he's had those productive runners in the backfield. That's really when he's been at his best, I feel like. Yeah. Not to say that they can't work independently of that. And they need receivers too. I mean, they need a lot of help. But I would imagine that makes a lot of sense. The other team that's been floated out there in the top 10 in recent days and weeks has been the Chicago Bears. After all, Ben Johnson, you remember how much blowback there was when they took Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit at number 12. Whoa, stop the presses. How can you take a running back, the second running back in a draft at number 12? And now, of course, we're talking about one of the more dynamic playmakers in the NFL. Really took that Lions offense to kind of the next dimension. Are the Bears there yet, though? Like if Vegas passes on him at 6 and he's still lingering there, are they at the point where they can say, yes, we'll take a position that is not as high on the hierarchy, importance-wise to your football team, and say, yeah, we think this guy can elevate our offense. Maybe. I wouldn't be shocked by it. They've added a bunch of O-line and D-line already, kind of the foundational pieces. So 6 to 10 is really where things I think are most likely for, those are the two spots that I've heard the most. But what happens if both those teams pass on him? Does it go to Dallas at 12? Does he linger a little bit? I'll tell you who would love him, Sean Payton in Denver. I mean, that would be he would love Ashton Genty. I know, I don't know if there's a trade-up possibility, but just file that one away if Genty just starts to slip a little bit.
Cowboys too, in my opinion. But let me before getting you out of here, I appreciate you jumping on. Let me ask you in this scenario, because Pete Carroll's taken one of my players early in the draft when he was with Seattle, and Bruce Irvin, which was a surprise pick early. But he likes long, athletic guys at corner, at pass rusher that can drop and play, some spy coverage, some zone pressure, blitz stuff that he does. He's going to clearly put his stamp on this defense in Vegas. I wouldn't be shocked, since they have gone out and got a couple of my former players as well that we've had on our show lately. He went out and already made trades or acquired free agents as long corners. He got one of my kid, Lonnie Johnson. They got Jack already. They got some long. He loves length in the secondary at safety and corner. Like, I can see him definitely getting a running back here or another pass rusher, and it's the best position available at 6, isn't it?
It might be, yeah. If you're convinced, let's say that Mykel Williams from Georgia is a player that, wait till you see him in 2 years. He's super young, didn't have the greatest season last year, didn't blow people away in the workouts, but came close. I mean, had some really strong numbers in some regards. Is that somebody worth taking at 6? I will tell you that Raiders fans will say, hey, what about, we took a guy a couple years ago, Tyree Wilson, who, we've had to wait for him and be patient and things like that. So there might be some people who sort of say, hey, this is giving me flashbacks in a bad kind of way. But, it wouldn't stun me. And then if you're thinking, okay, let's say they do go offense in round 1, Genty or whoever, in round 2, maybe somebody like James Pierce slips. There are some character questions with him a little bit, maybe just some maturity stuff, some work ethic stuff that has to be a little bit refined, and the right coach might be able to bring it out of him. Or Max Crosby, you put him in put his locker right next to him, that kind of thing. That's a big, long pass rusher who would make a lot of sense. And cornerback sort of the same way. It's such a fascinating position this year because there's a lot of different sizes of guys, but Thomas, the FSU kid's kind of in that late first, early second round range. Siobhan Ravel, the ECU kid who missed all last season. maybe he's still there early second round too, and he's got enough length, I think, to satisfy somebody like Pete Carroll. So, there's a lot of different ways they can attack it, but I think there's enough strength in both the edge and corner classes to where they don't have to take someone at 6 if they don't feel it's somebody worth taking that high. It has to be, the value has to meet the pick, I think, and they might be willing to pass in that spot.
No doubt.
Eric, this is my last question from my
Sure.
end. We brought him up loosely already, but what does your gut tell you about the Cowboys' first pick? What do you think the Cowboys is going to do with this first pick?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I could make a case for running back. They haven't really figured that position out yet. Even, even with some moments here and there. I mean, they let what's his name walk this offseason and let Pollard go the year before. I mean, it's been a little bit surprising how they've handled that. And Brian Schottenheimer, he's a run guy. I mean, he likes the run game. That really kind of is the foundation of his offense. So you have to consider that as a possibility. But do they wait till round 2? You always want to set up a new head coach with somebody who's going to, help the guy out, obviously. So I know that the front office is obviously doing its own scouting sort of view of what they need for the team. And like a couple of years ago, when Mazi Smith was the pick, I think people kind of went, is that really the best pick? And so, another pass rusher, again, they haven't figured out the Micah deal yet. I think it will happen, but you got to protect, losing Lawrence, obviously this offseason too. Yep. And just for the future as well. I could see O-line being a possibility. Never rule that one out for them. D-line, O-line, running back, wide receiver would be an option too. Those are the positions that, at least on the surface, make some sense.
So it sounds like the Cowboys, they need a lot of help, is what it sounds like.
Yeah,
or could go in a lot of directions if you're a glass half full guy. But yeah, I think you're onto something.
Hey, Eric, we got before you get out of here, one of our weekly guests, Super Bowl champ Shaun King, joins us, and
my man, I love Shaun.
He's now Jameis Winston's agent. He's Jameis Winston's agent. I don't know if you knew this or not. He's become Jameis Winston's agent, basically shopping him to every team as a starter. And so before I let him ask you a question, get you out of here, I appreciate you greatly. Does Micah get 42 million in your opinion?
No. For sure.
I think he probably should. I think he's a phenomenal football player, and I'd hate to lose him. Let's put it that way. I mean, highest paid non-quarterback, absolutely. And whatever that number is, I think it's somewhere right at north of 40 there. But yeah, that would have to be the number, I think, that gets it done. So, Shaun, how you doing, man? Everything good?
I'm good. How you been, man? I couldn't not say what's up to my guy. What's going on, brother?
You don't even know you.
This is the home stretch, man. This is our time of year. I know you love it. I love it. And just can't wait to get till to the end of the month here.
Hey, I worked with Eric for a couple of years, guys, and I dabbled in the mock draft market, and Yahoo would get mad with me because I would not put out a mock draft that I didn't agree with. This is what I would do. They would get. I'm not putting nothing out there, my name on it, trying to presume
I don't blame you.
what Smitty is going to draft it for. No, I'm telling y'all, based on my evaluation, this is what I think they should do.
It's hard not to do that, right? You sit there and say, why in the world would they take this guy? But I'm here and this is what could happen. So I always say it. I would love to do 2 different mock drafts. Here's what I think is going to happen, and here's what should happen, or here's what I would do if I was in that spot. And that's a fun exercise. I've done something like that before, but it gets a little confusing for people.
So Eric, before you go, I just got done doing my offensive line tape for a second time.
Yep.
And I was going to, I didn't know you were on today, but I was going to tell JB and Smitty, I am going to predict that Ohio State left tackle Josh Simmons is drafted in the top 15. He's that good.
If he's cleared health-wise, had he not had that injury, it really affected 2 different players, him and Donovan Jackson in different ways, but up and down. But had he not gotten hurt, I think he absolutely had a great chance to be offensive tackle 1. Now, whether that would have been the 4th pick with the Patriots or whatever, I don't know. But I think you're on to something here. And even if he's not let's say he's the third blocker taken. If you say that Will Campbell or Armand Membu could go first and second, I wouldn't argue with that. There are a couple teams to watch for Kelvin Banks, who I think like him and possibly could take him, but maybe as a guard. But I wouldn't be shocked at all, especially this year, Shaun. You've seen like the lack of blue chip talent. I know we got Travis Hunter. I know we got Abdul Carter, but the top 10 doesn't feel like a typical top 10 to me. So you're going to see players who have some second round grades for teams go in the top 15. I know
my prediction is the Bears go Josh Simmons at 10.
I wouldn't be, especially if Campbell's off the board. That would not shock me.
Ben Johnson rounds out the offensive line. By the way, Josh Simmons is a better player than Will Campbell, Andre Membo. He's got feet like a tight end, JB. I mean, he's great in space. He's good to point of attack. And I just think with the technology and the science that guys have access to rehab these injuries, I wouldn't let a guy being injured deter me from selecting what I know is the best film.
Right. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense, Shaun. And one thing I want to bring up too, because you hopped on a few minutes after this, I asked Eric his thoughts on the receivers as far as who will be the first receiver to come off the board. And it sounds like, Eric, you were leaning a little bit more towards T-Mac, McMillan, being the first receiver off the board. Shaun, I know you disagree with that, right? You have
Matthew. I was listening. Matthew Golden is the best wide receiver in the draft, hands down. The only reason Matthew Golden is not being talked about as a top 5 pick is because he measured like 5'11", 190 or something. And teams are a little hesitant because of the frame. Because even what's Chase, 6 foot, 215 something, like Chase bigger, but I'm just telling you, Matthew Golden is box office. And the reason he doesn't have dynamic down the field tape is because he was playing with a pop-top arm quarterback in Quinn Ewers, who is undraftable in my opinion. Quinn can't throw the ball from JB cigar room to the grill in the back.
Undraftable.
Yeah, like that's why you don't see it, because he can't push the ball down the field.
I mean, Brock Purdy can't push the ball down the field that much, but he found his way.
That's why Brock Purdy won the 7th round.
About to get paid too.
I think you're on to something with Golden there. Just if you look at the way they used him, it was like, man, a lot of digs, a lot of, it was like, wow, when are we going to see the deep route? You did see him occasionally, but the other thing about Golden too that I've learned in recent weeks, just talking to people, he has killed it in the interview process. He is a clean prospect from a character standpoint. Yep. There's always some question about receivers and are they divas and all this stuff. Like I've heard a lot of people say,
I've heard it about T-Mac.
I haven't heard as much about T-Mac. I know he's a little bit of a quiet guy, and there was some uproar about the social media video he put out with like, I don't watch film and I don't love football and all that. I've heard players say versions of that before, and we come to find out it's BS. It's not as bad as it sounds and all that. So
hey, here's where me and JB are in a different category than most people attached to football.
Hey, Shaun, this man's been on here for a fucking hour, by the way, so make sure this is the last. I don't want to hold him, so go ahead.
He's hungry. He got to pee. Tell you everything.
All right. Good to see you, Eric. Love
you.
Good
to see you guys.
All right, Eric. Hey, Eric, I appreciate you, brother. We'll have to do it again.
I'd love to, man. See you fellas. Enjoy the run-up to the draft.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Shaun, what were you about to say to him?
I'm about to say shit, man. You just cut me off rudely and shit. Fuck.
Hey, motherfucker was on here for like an hour and a half.
But that's my dog. We spent a whole dog.
They locked in. They work together.
Hey, I didn't mean for him to leave
for 3 years.
I thought he was going to ask the one last question and leave. He don't
know you that well. So when you said that, I think he took like, damn, he want me off. So like, make sure you send him a message, JB, and let him know that you didn't mean nothing by it.
I don't even know the motherfucker. Hey, look.
Eric, good people.
These motherfuckers are hard.
They look super flat-footed, super tight.
You know what they are, Smitty?
Super uncomfortable.
You know what they are?
The toe shoes.
No, what are they though?
Cross trainers.
Nah, I just got a company that sent them to me that gave me that jet ski. It's for the jet ski, homie.
I'm not worried.
These motherfuckers, I don't even feel them. So, Shaun, the poll question is, how much will it take to get you on the jet ski?
Oh, I own jet skis. I can ride the hell out of jet skis.
Yeah. He's from Florida, homie. He's different. Hold on. Black people are different, homie.
Hold on, though. This cat said he will never get in the water.
Yeah, but I got a life vest on, like, and I know how to ride a jet ski, so I'm not falling off the jet ski. I'm like a professional driver level jet ski operator.
So
I've never been on one before. I'm paranoid because I don't want to fall in the ocean.
So let me tell you the first thing, Smitty. You can't turn if you're not accelerating. That's the first thing about a jet ski that's unique.
Really?
Okay, you've got to be on the gas to turn left or right. Yes. If you come off the gas, it's only going straight.
You'll tip.
Yes. You're just going straight. So, like, if you're going straight at something, in order to avoid it, you've got to hit the gas to go left or right.
That's interesting. Okay,
Right.
I didn't know that.
Also, there's a wristband that you're going to have that the key is attached to.
Kill switch.
If that key comes out, you can only go straight till you stop. So that's the first thing people mess up when they get on a jet ski.
Hey, these motherfuckers are hard. Match the yacht, Smitty. The motherfucker's light as shit. I put it on yesterday to make sure that motherfucker comfortable. I don't want no bare feet in that ocean. I want something. And I'm glad.
Small though. Was that a size 11 or 12, homie? You got baby foot?
14, homie.
That's like a size 12, homie. I wore that when I was in 8th grade.
Hey, G Wizzy gonna catch the hands too. Wait till I see your ass.
G Wizzy's straight up. G Wizzy's a mark.
No, that's my guy.
G Wizzy gonna catch the hands.
What are you saying? That's like my biggest supporter. G Wizzy, what's going on? G Wizzy, what happened?
He says bitch made shit.
Yeah.
I thought Shaun was going to ask Eric his last question. That's why I was just saying and make this the last question.
He gonna tell me I try to take over the interview. It was my friend, you jackbox. I asked via text, can I please come on and say what's up to my guy E? Because I hadn't talked to him in a couple years.
I know he said love you, Unc Shaun. He's just messing with you, man.
Yeah, he had to go take Eric had another show.
All right, G Wizzy, love you too, man.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to do a contrary to belief segment brought to you by BetUS. I wanted to bring it out, and I want to let Smitty know that the youngsters don't really understand anything at all about anything, and they just say shit. And so Smitty just comes on and just says shit.
Yeah.
Bailey, show the video of what's been around for a long, long time.
Bailey, he talking about the torpedo bats, homie, but you messed the whole flow up.
Bailey,
I'm laughing.
fuck, man.
I'm laughing. Yes.
I thought Bailey was on my connections. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Bailey young, homie. He young.
But anyways, Shaun, you and I remember this bat right here. Pause it right there, Bailey. Shaun and I grew up on this bat. It was a metal bat with a big torpedo barrel, and we played over the line. We grew up with this bat. Smitty act like this bat's never been around. This motherfucker's been around for fucking 30 years. Major League Baseball actually has been using the torpedo bat for at least 2 decades.
This only using the streets, homie. It wasn't using in MLB.
Smitty, the bat they're using right now, the torpedo bat, has been around in the Major League Baseball for 20 plus years. Stop. So the bottom line is other teams use it. Aaron Judge isn't even using it, and we're bitching and moaning. He's using his regular bat. And this bat, just so we know, people are acting as if this configuration is mind-blowing science. It's been around, people. So I just wanted to show you this. Shout out to Bailey for Bailey finally figuring out the whole thing. So Smitty actually beat the producer at what fuck I wanted to show. So anyway, go ahead. Shaun, I want to hear about your torpedo bat things.
I don't know nothing about the torpedo bat. I'll be honest, like in Florida, so I graduated high school in 95. Baseball didn't really pop. Baseball didn't really become like a thing in Florida until A-Rod signed that 10-year $250 in I think around 99, 2000.
You know why though? You got Gators, homie. We play over there. We don't have to worry about shit chasing us and shit like that.
So for whatever reason, nobody in the hood really played baseball my age. Now my brother played Little League baseball. He's younger than me.
We play baseball.
Yeah, when A-Rod got that big deal, I think it opened the eyes of inner city America that baseball might be like a way out. But before that, at least in Florida, baseball wasn't a big deal like that. The hood didn't really play baseball.
Yeah, baseball more of a West Coast.
I've learned that MT in the chat. I've learned that MT is an absolute nobody that knows absolute nothing. So I want to clarify and let everyone know, 2,600 people on here that know That MT is an absolute nobody that knows nothing.
He's not a member. I don't know why would you bring him up.
Shaun, give us your best Val Kilmer story. Go.
Oh, I mean, most people would say Iceman, but I'm a guy that likes westerns, so him playing Doc Holliday and Tombstone,
I like that. I like that.
for me is his number one role. His number one movie, in my opinion, is Heat.
Thank you. Heat's the classic. He's one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way.
Yeah.
If people don't know, Smitty wasn't out here yet. I don't even know if he was born yet, but after Heat dropped in 95, we actually went to the drive-in and watched it. There was 2 shootings during the drive-in in the hood. But anyway, after that happened, it was the shootout, which a lot of people know worldwide as the Hollywood shootout. And literally a real shootout and a real configuration of exactly the movie. Some real cats robbed a few banks in LA, and they actually had the exact shootout that he had in real life. So it was crazy. It was crazy. I was right there. The homie threw the bag over and I caught it. But anyway, that's all that's right.
He's my favorite movie of his. But I mean, you got to say the best movie that he's been in. You probably got to say Top Gun, right? The original. You probably got to you know what I'm saying? Just in terms of the masses.
Hey, but
remember the Lion movie, Shaun? What was that Lion movie or some shit? Remember he was like out
Lion
in the
King?
Nah, he was in what was it called?
Thunderheart was good.
Yeah, Thunderheart. Was that what it was? Thunderheart?
But I thought the remake of Top Gun was excellent too.
Oh, I thought that was the worst remake of all time.
And I like the way they found roles and he embraced them later in his career as he was battling throat cancer.
That should have never been made. I thought it was the worst remake in the history.
Top Gun?
Yeah, it was the worst.
Man, Bailey, mute JB Mike, man, for 10
JB
seconds.
only likes stuff that when he was a kid. Anything new, he just don't like. He's just negative.
I'm gonna be honest. That Top Gun, because I had to come on the show. I had to watch it, Shaun. I had to watch it. After it was over, I came out and watched it. Then I came on this show immediately. I think right before Smitty joined the show last 2 years ago, and I'm like, damn, that shit checked every box. It had a gay, a female pilot, which we know that ain't cracking because they can't even be cops. And then we had, a trans. It checked every box. I was like, damn, it's the worst remake. And why would Tom Cruise come out 40 years later in a motherfucking leather jacket, homie? He missed the ball. The shit should have came out 30 years ago. Don't come out with number 2 40 years later, homie. Come on. It was a horrible remake. Horrible.
You sound like the neighborhood wino right now. That might be the most bogus thing you've ever said. You're the only person in a country full of millions of people that thought the remake of Top Gun wasn't A+.
They checked all the boxes, I guess, for y'all. So,
Shaun, did Deion Sanders, did he earn his contract or is he just worth it?
Oh, here we go. We already talked about it. He was on Monday, homie. Shaun was on Monday. We already talked about it.
Go check out the Bailey Price show. I think Tuesday's episode, I broke it down eloquently like I always do.
Yeah.
Since we'll shoot Bailey some love.
We will shoot Bailey some love, but let's shoot him love in another way by sticking to the rundown and switching gears here. An armed gunman broke into Richard Sherman's home in Washington on Sunday night.
Yeah, that was crazy.
His family was inside, man. I think he tweeted out, "House being robbed at gunpoint with my family in it isn't what anyone wants for a birthday gift." That's what Sherman said online. Police said the robbery remains an open and active investigation. Seems like the robbers have hit many homes and businesses around, Washington. Man, this is definitely. I saw this online. Saw like a little video they put as well. Scary situation, for the family. Obviously, if you're Sherman, I don't think Richard was there, but his wife and kids were there, and thank God nothing happened, to them, and they're safe and everything's okay. But just I guess I don't know if you already saw this, Shaun, or not. But what's your initial reaction to seeing this?
Yeah, I saw it. Just PSA: if you one of these people that try and rob people's homes, you're the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the things you could do, like, that's to me the lowest. Like, to invade somebody's home, come on, man. This 2025, first of all, your ass is not going to get away with it. And secondly, everybody's armed. So the chances of you dying during the act is extremely high. Or you're like, this is stupid, man.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Sherman because you can't never live in your house comfortably after somebody violated like that, like I gotta move.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. And you got kids, you got a wife, man. And like I said, I mean, it's just, and they came in there with weapons, ready to do whatever they need to do just to go steal something. It's like just ignorant. It's lazy.
I don't wish harm on nobody, but people that break into people's house, I hope they die in the act. I hope they die right there, get shot dead.
I mean, I don't feel bad at all for anybody if they get shot. Yeah,
you got every right to be target practice.
Hell yeah, I'm getting over.
That's what you. If you decide to break somebody's house, you should have that mindset. I'm probably getting shot today. Honestly, you go to somebody's privacy at their home. That's your place of peace, homie. And especially when you got family, a wife, and kids.
Yeah, I'm rubbing off on Shaun like a motherfucker. He don't even know. That's how good of a recruiter I am. I'm rubbing off on Shaun. Shaun is becoming. Yeah,
Shaun from Florida.
Leave it at that. But I'm saying he usually don't say public shit like that, so he's starting to say it publicly, which is getting more and more now.
Well, that's something that I'm passionate about. I just don't let you pull me into unnecessary quicksand.
Let me ask you another question real quick. Since we're being honest today, and you told me, you just privately texted me and said you were going to be straight honest about any question I asked you. Is what you said. Give me your honest take on Mina Kimes. Go.
I think Mina Kimes is very accomplished. I think she works her ass off. Even if I don't necessarily agree with her opinions, that don't take away from the fact that I think she's deserving of the role she has. Like, she works her butt off.
Yeah.
I don't have to agree with people's opinions to like
respect the work.
Respect the work. You know what I'm saying?
100%. That's where I'm at too.
I would say this. I would say this. I think Mina Kimes.
Nobody asked you, Darnell.
Would elevate more if she was around somebody like me that kept it a bean all the time, that would kind of show her some of the evaluation things that I look for and kind of start being able to put like a personal twist on some of that stuff. I think that would refine some of her opinions and get away from.
So what you saying right now is that a soft pitch to get Shaun King at the other network? What we saying?
The real need to be back on TV, baby.
Huh?
You can see. Here's the thing: when it's a great evaluator, you have to be able to adapt and adjust, but stay grounded.
Yep.
You can't evaluate if all you believe in is analytics, is numbers. You can't necessarily be a consistent evaluator if all you believe in is the eye test. You've got to be able to combine the different traits and then make the decision that you think is going to work out the majority of the time.
No, for sure, man. Shout out to Mina Kimes. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to Mina Kimes.
Who's grinding in their career.
Yeah. That's not the answer I wanted at all. Not the answer I wanted at all.
I just had to further let you know that I have not adapted to the insanity that you present on this show daily.
Yeah, as men, it's not impressive to just try to bully women on the show every day. So I'm gonna move on to another topic.
But I fucks with you though, JB.
I protect them actually.
I don't change my friends. That's why I don't have a problem coming on here.
Let me ask you something.
If you want to be hateful and malicious and insightful, I don't have a problem with that. But that don't mean I got to get in the mob and hold up a sign.
Hell yeah!
Thank you.
I know. Hey man, maybe Mina will drop a lawsuit like this girl did. Let me take a look at this. I want to ask you about Shrek's. Shrek showing his balls off. I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't. Oh God, I did see that. What was she trying to say? She got two butts.
No, two balls. That's Shrek and his balls hanging.
But I think what's she trying to say? Like, it looks like she's got a butt in the front and the back or something crazy.
She does. I mean, there's no. It's not a question. It's not a fucking puzzle. By the way, and I'm clarify. I want to know because Smitty says he would hit it. I want to ask why.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
You told me. You said you would.
I did not say that. I said I did not say that.
What?
I did not say that.
You said something before that. I want to know what does she think she's doing here, Shaun? I want to get your honest opinion since you said it was honest day for you. Like what side do you first of all do you hit? Number one. Number two, where are you at with this? Like, why does she think she could show this off? Go.
I mean, I ain't got nothing to say about this, man. That's that woman. That's how she want to dress. I mean, shout out to Shawty. Who is this? What's her name? Demas?
Yeah, she a rapper. She be spitting.
My question is, can she rap? Is she a good rapper?
I haven't heard none of her full songs.
No, she's horrible. And anyway, they said she made $1 million on selling like cats like Smitty her bathwater.
Paris said she can rap. Shout out to Paris. And Paris a real one. Chicago.
I never heard of him.
Paris said she can rap.
Paris meant she like like in the hood you say shit fucked up. Paris meant like she can't rap. You know how in the hood you say shit like,
that made no sense. I'm sorry.
JB like to pick on the weak. See, I'm not going to attack that woman.
He a bully.
You a bully, man.
That's a good point. He picks on the weak, or the Dean. I don't want to use the word weak. He picks. He's the bully. He picks on people.
Let me give you guys some.
He don't fight with his own size. He goes at people who are overweight, a little slow. Small women, people that you're supposed to be protecting as a man. He goes at them, man.
I do protect women. That's why I say get them out of men's spaces. I want them protected. But here's the thing.
You control them.
No, not at all. I don't control them at all. Here's the issue. Thank you, Jada. Jada knows it's the real. Here's the issue I have. Like in Mexican culture, they actually make a statement with a question. So let me give you an example. Hey, Mom, I'm going to tell my mom if I can spend the night. That is a Mexican term. I'm going to tell my mom if I can spend the night. So you see, it was a statement and a question. That's Mexican people shit. I'm going to tell my mom if I can spend the night, Cisco, Ruben. Now, in the BPS culture, the conversation's happening at the barbershop, and then Paris caught the ass end of it and was like, yeah, she can't rap. That's in the hood. That you know it. I know it. That's what she meant when she said, yeah, homie. Now you understand what she meant. So now you guys get it.
She said, yeah, she can, though. And then capitalize the can. That's the issue.
See, this is a learning moment. This is a learning moment because I want to take what you said and educate on a macro level. There is no emotion in texting. You have to take a text literally.
I disagree.
So when she says she can rap and doesn't put any kind of emoji or anything to solidify or signify that she's got a different connotation, I take it literally for what it says. She can rap.
Gotcha.
See, you one of them emotional texters. Like somebody texts you what, and you be, what the fuck do you mean? What? Just try to be like, what's up, homie? They didn't have time to write the homie. Didn't say what.
Baby, let's talk about your boy's son, man. You go ahead and you lead it. You teased it earlier. You want to talk about it. Shout out to your homeboy and his son. Tell people what's going on, homie.
Talking to me?
Your name is Jason. You say you have a homie whose son is staying here going to SC.
Yeah, finally USC lands a big-time recruit. And modern day monarch, good friend of mine is the head coach there right now. Just went undefeated, number one team in the nation. USC, Shaun, is landing 4-star D tackle, finally keeping somebody home. He's from Inglewood, actually, where Smitty's at. Smitty lives on 4256 Prairie Avenue. He lives right there next to Smitty.
Hey, that's kind of close, homie.
What happened?
Be careful on the street names you're throwing out, homie. That's kind of close, homie.
Well, I know the real streets in England. So,
I know, that's why.
So 6'3", 320, D tackle, Shaun. You
throw your shit out here next.
You happy that SC or a hometown team is keeping their hometown talent?
I mean, yeah, we had what's the guy we had on the other day who was saying
Smitty, say his last name, by the way.
His name is Tomuini Topua.
What's the guy we had the other day? He played NFL for a long time. He got the weed store. He played for the Seahawks.
Oh, that Lofa?
Lofa. Yeah. Remember Lofa was saying that this is what I asked him, like, how does USC get back to the Pete Carroll? You know, he said keeping the homegrown talent. So, all right, cool. Look at Smitty getting deliveries during the show and stuff. Look at it. Oh, slap him in the head one time. Show us that spousal abuse that go on.
My baby just got off work, man. Hey, man.
Hey, I wanted to real quick.
So to answer your question, JB, that's big time. That's a start.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to transition real quick because I think it'll be a good short. So, Paris, since you're watching and disagreeing with me, make sure this short is unbelievable or it'll be your last day on the Coach AB show. So, here's the thing real quick. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. Break this down for us. Real talk or jaw jacking, Shaun? We're doing this segment. Real talk or jaw jacking brought to you by BetUS TV. I'm just fucking with you, Paris. Let's do some real talk or jaw jacking. Take a listen.
Let's do it then, homie.
Say you must respect each era, but the past eras don't respect this era.
I don't think that's true.
Shit, me. You don't see some of the things these guys say?
The respect from the old is really, do the young dudes fuck with us? Do they know who we are? That's why you get a lot of hate from the older generation because they just want to be kept alive. One era always think that the other era is sorry until you leave the game and have an appreciation for the talent that you had to play against.
I disagree in the fact that, no, like these eras don't respect us. Like I've seen several guys talk over and over and over again, not in a positive light. I don't think that respect is passed down to us from the other generations, but I think people are quick to say, oh, you got to respect them because they came before. I don't agree with that.
You absolutely have to absolutely respect the people who came before you because
my respect is earned. And what you did to somebody else don't necessarily earn you respect. Just because you played before me does not mean you deserve respect. I'm sorry, but God had in his plan for you to be born before me and you just deserve respect because of that? Nah, my mom ain't raised me that way. Respect is earned.
That word earned got thrown out right there, JB.
And I don't know if I think that hurts his argument, actually. And I'll say my take for last. But go ahead, Smitty or Shaun, whoever wants to go take the lead on this one. Real talk or jaw jacking?
I guess before I answer, so real talk to which take? You know what I'm saying? Like
the conversation, the conversation I think is still overall conversation is, has the generations passed the respect buck down to this particular generation, which we argue on this show all the time, and then versus have they earned or respected this new generation? And is it real talk or jaw jacking that Baron Davis said absolutely you should respect the generation before you that paved the way? So that's kind of the real talk.
It's a lot of pieces there. I'll go in reverse. I agree with BD. You have to respect the people that came before you because they laid the foundation in place for you to have an opportunity to participate in playing the sport, number one. Number two, though, to Draymond's point, I do see a lot of like the OGs, making comments about this generation not being able to couldn't hang if they played in the 80s or played in the 90s. This generation is too soft, or this wouldn't work, that wouldn't work, etc. So I do think there is a handful of like OGs that don't give the proper respect to today's talent. But on the flip side, though, too, I see some OGs praising these guys too. So I think like whatever you're looking for, you'll find it. But I guess my answer overall would be real talk overall, but there's nuance in between it. You know what I'm saying? So, but Shaun, let's hear from you.
Draymond's a clown, and all his peers are clowns.
Jeez.
There would not be the level of compensation that exists now if it wasn't for their predecessors. So for you to say they haven't earned your respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
My point.
Them dudes got it from the mud. They didn't have no load management. They didn't get together in the offseason and say, hey, I don't like my coach. Well, who got the best coach? Let's all get together. Not saying that Draymond did it. He stayed in Golden State.
Because he don't do it, yeah.
Not a lot of that because, why would you ever leave Steph Curry? But I'm just saying his overall thought process is why the previous generation has an issue with this generation. They wouldn't have access to what they have access to without those guys going through what they went through. And they've disrespected it. They've become these entitled brats that think people owe them something.
No question. Enabled, entitled, there's no question. That's where I was at. The same take I had is basically what you just said. I'll add the fact that he kept using the word that Smitty just said, earned. Well, where I'm from, respect earned is respect given.
Right.
You haven't fucking earned it yet for us to give it. And that's the problem. And that's where I don't agree at all with Draymond Green, not only for that reason, but for the fact that he kept saying, my mama didn't raise me that. Well, that's the fucking problem. Your mama raised you, homie. You don't have no respect for men that played before you. That's the fucking problem. So anyway, I think it is absolutely, I'm on BD's side of obviously another LA product that I had to guard in high school, along with Austin Crozier. Crossroads, shout out. We beat you though.
Shout out to BD, that's the homie.
And so at the end of the day, we're the salty ones, broke-hand, non-member, bitch. But yet you're the one that won't admit that we got you motherfuckers paid astronomically. And guess what? Jordan played 82 games. How many years in a row? How many years did Kobe play? 82 games, which was on the schedule based on his paycheck. And these motherfuckers want to miss every other game and play with a don't play with a hangnail. And you think you're fucking worthy? Get the fuck out of here, you soft pussy. Brokan, you're the reason why our boys are now bitch made, homie. Now what? You're a bitch.
Now,
Anyway.
for clarity, your take just now wasn't specifically at Draymond. You're talking about the entire, just the overall.
He's talking about the check. Somebody in the check.
Yeah, no, I know about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying just the overall take, though.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
My thing I want Draymond to understand, what he's saying is like, put your own self in the shoes. If he goes back to Michigan State, those guys that are playing on the current Michigan State you gotta earn their respect. Like, they should respect you just off of what you've already did at the level they're currently at. Now, I ain't saying you come in there and be disrespectful, because then you're gonna get disrespect back, but you ain't gotta come in there and be cleaning up no goddamn locker room and go and get shoes for him. Like, come on, man, what are you talking about, dog? You sound crazy.
I think that's what he's saying. I mean, I try to read between the lines. I think what he's saying is people expect the current players to just automatically respect the old heads when they don't respect us. And he's saying that don't make sense. He's saying if the old heads going to keep disrespecting us, saying we soft, we not this, we not that, I'm not about to just kiss their ass and just get them all the respect.
Let me make it personal. I think that's what
you're missing what Shaun's saying, though, about what BD said. BD basically said, hold on, you absolutely have to respect the fuckers that paved the way, or we wouldn't have a lead.
I said that. That was my opening line.
I know.
I'm giving 30 on what
I know. I'm just saying, though, like, we got to take the words for what they are, too. Like, remember, we are what we do, not what we say we do. Draymond has been this guy and does what he does all the time. We got to start taking this motherfucker for face value. He's a cat that does what on a nightly basis? Bitches and moans and cries, homie. And now we're supposed to sit here and take his word for the fucking gospel?
Listen, I ain't trying to change you guys. I'm just trying to give y'all some game. And this is right at the athletes out there. The proper interaction is the younger athlete is supposed to acknowledge the older athlete immediately. Some people consider me the greatest player football in Tulane history. When I'm on Tulane campus and Terrence Jones and some of those older guys come around, I go right up to them. Hey, man, big dog, boy, you was a bad one, boy. I like it. Not because I'm being a sucker, but because it might not have been an opportunity for me if it wasn't for them. Now, I took that opportunity and I ran with it, but that's how these interactions should go. The younger athlete should defer to the older athlete and show some damn respect right off the rip.
I agree with that 1,000%. Let me throw a wrench into that. Hypothetically, if some of those OGs at Tulane was on a podcast and they came out and they said, man, Shaun, he was cool, but Shaun couldn't really see me. Or Shaun couldn't. If Shaun played in my era, he wouldn't have did what he did at Tulane. Are you still approaching them with the exact same respect? I'm just curious.
100%. How many times do I got to preach on this show? I'm not falling out with nobody because they have a different opinion about me or about something we talking about. Like, that's what's wrong with this country. People only comfortable hanging around people that think just like them. You want to lose a friend? Get in a conversation about politics or religion and have opposite views.
Or a girlfriend or a husband.
Like, man, we got to stop this, man. We ain't got to fall out because your opinion is different.
The one thing I say this every day, Smitty. Don't I say that at least? Don't I say barbershop banter should be a normal thing? I should be able to disagree with anybody sitting at a bar about what the fuck side they're on as far as red, white, blue, yellow, red, right, or left. I don't give a fuck politically. So whatever, right? We had a peace treaty in Compton, homie, for a fucking reason. We did it in the hood, but we can't do it in society. Blows my mind. But let me dive into this and make this deeper.
Okay,
go ahead first.
No, I want you.
My shit about to be deep.
Okay, all right. So don't forget. So my last, just to summarize everything, because again, y'all know me. I respect OG, so it's not even about me. I'm just throwing. I'm being.
You're gonna make my point. Go ahead.
I'm being devil's advocate here, though. So the OGs, in essence, can say whatever they want about the young players, but the young players, don't matter what, gotta just always respect them. Just for clarity.
Thank you. Yes.
Cool.
And that's what. And now I'm glad you made my point, because that's the deep. I'm gonna deep dive into this.
Yeah.
Shaun, you and I are 49 years old.
I'm 47. Don't make me old.
Oh, you're 47, but you graduated in 95. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you got pushed. You got held back. So hold on. So
I'm sorry.
So hold on. So
oh shoot.
So that
you ain't shit. You ain't gonna be shit.
So Smitty, let's dive into this on a deep macro level, so all you guys out there can really understand this. Shaun and I are about, let's say we're the same age. Shaun, who did you and I respect when we were coming up?
Elders.
All right. Now, who did our elders respect when they were coming up?
They're elders.
And then who did their elders respect when they were coming
elders.
up?
I wish you would have had something disrespectful, behavior-wise or conversation-wise, to an elder.
Thank you. So here's my point to Smitty. And that's why Smitty's making my point. This is the first cycle and generation that I've witnessed in my 49 years that thinks everyone else owes them. This is the first time I've seen a generational snap that, and I want to ask Smitty, have you ever seen an old lady disrespect a young kid at the grocery store or something like that? Disrespect. Let me ask you something. Who opens doors and who's been taught to open doors or push grocery bags or help with bags or push grocery carts to their car?
Younger folks.
Okay, thank you. I've never seen an older person. I don't know where you are. I've never seen an older person going out of their way to disrespect a younger person. I see younger people going out of their way to disrespect us, older people. And it goes on and on and on, to my point that we've always been taught to respect our elders. This is the first fucking generation I've seen where I want gimme, and I don't want to do shit, yet I think you owe me respect, and I'm supposed to sit here and say you can't tell me XYZ? Hell nah. We've been doing this shit for how long? How many generations? Like, all of a sudden, y'all think you're better than us, and the whole world needs to stop for you? When we're the ones that got you motherfuckers paid this astronomical amount of money for doing less? Y'all get fucking private jets, shoe deals, motherfucking feet. You can stick your feet out the goddamn airplane now with 3 people on it. We had to go in charter planes with regular folks and play back-to-back games. And the NFL practiced in 3-a-days in 110-degree weather for 6 weeks straight. And now y'all bitching and moaning about fucking 2-a-days that you've eliminated? And now high school football wants to add guardian caps throughout the nation? And then the fucking NFL wants to put guardian caps on, which haven't even been proven to be safer, but yet our concussion rates are higher wearing them? Fuck out of here, man. All of a sudden, we owe you motherfucking pussies? Get the fuck out of here. Your generation, not you, Smitty. I'm talking about this young generation that's finally breaking the gap. They're trying to come out and say, you owe us. You got me fucked up. I'll never owe you shit. I gave you, motherfuckers. Anyway.
I hear you, JB. By the way, you tried to sneak this and the chat jumped on it. So let me clarify something. I graduated high school with a 3.4 GPA. I scored 28 on my ACT. It's why I academically could get into Tulane. So don't let that little slick sneak this and what his name is? What name I gave JB?
Who? Me?
Yeah. Shady Brown or what I called him, Bailey. What name I gave him? Because he don't hate, he just throws shade.
I'm just tripping off the whole plan.
Yeah, I had to clarify that. Everybody in the chat, and I think I got them held back or something.
Yeah, I think I
was like, why didn't you respond to that, Shaun?
Right.
Yeah, you got into Tulane, but I mean, I'm saying you might need that. You might need that. You might need it.
I was brilliant. I was a student first, then an athlete.
Yeah, Smitty, he might need that extra year though. We all need extra help.
Ain't nothing wrong with that help, man. You here now? So
Here now. He made it. Let me
to your point though. Why you had to go all extremist with it? Why you did? We had a good little vid going.
I'm just tired.
Yeah, you went like real, like you went to the point of like guardian caps and like they ain't got nothing to do with nothing to play. I understand. You're just saying this era is easier. I understand your point.
Just think about it though. But I'm saying though, all we do is keep giving and giving though, homie. These cats just keep wanting and wanting and wanting, and they ain't giving nothing. We had to earn our respect from the generations ahead of us. And we had to actually earn our keep. There's no more earning your keep no more. You can enter the portal anytime shit gets hard. You can bounce. You have no face, no adversity no more. There ain't no more tough skin building anymore where you sit your ass down, Shaun King, and learn from this motherfucker. Now, Shaun said, fuck that. I'm leaving Tulane. I'm going to go over here to fucking UAB. Like, this is unbelievable, dog. Like, and they want. That's why I told you to never agree with
now. Draymond's not of that specific era, but I understand your overall take.
But he's in this playing era, though. And that's the playing era. But
he an OG now, so like this ain't the era he grew up in. Like for example, LeBron is still playing, but I wouldn't say this is LeBron's era. You know what I'm saying?
But I want to make no mistake. He's an OG in this era. That's the difference, though. That's the part we're missing here.
Like, he's Paulo Banchero and Wemby. He's their OG.
Right. Yeah. All I'm saying is that like the meat and potatoes of Draymond's career wasn't like in this NIL and all. You know what I'm saying? Like this is still new. What I'm trying to say. You know,
but he's not an OG to us. See, that's the problem.
Right.
But that's the problem, though. See, we had OGs, and then our next cats had OGs, which were us or the guys before us. Like all of a sudden, Draymond's crew thinks that there is no OG ahead of him, and he don't have to pay no fucking respect. Come on, man. It sounds ridiculous. Like, we don't owe you the respect. You owe us the respect. We already paid our respect. Like, I'm missing this whole thing, dog.
I think Draymond would look at it differently if he goes back to Michigan State, which I'm sure he does. He doesn't go back there and feel like he got to earn the respect of those current players. He walks in that door like, I'm Draymond Green. Right. Yeah. And he's got to understand there are guys before him that were very, very good players that walk in Golden State's arena like, I'm such and such. And just like probably most of the guys in Michigan State, just out of deference alone for what he's accomplished. Hey, what's up, Draymond? I'm Smitty. Man, big fan. Good to meet you. That's what a real one do.
Yeah, my thing is, I think y'all reading it into too literally. I don't think Jamal's saying I don't respect no old heads. I think he's just saying
what he's saying is
just because you're older, that alone doesn't just automatically give you the praise. Like you're older, but what did you do? Also, Smitty, on top of that,
Smitty, there is no qualifier on showing respect to the people that came, the forefathers of whatever you do. That's an obligation.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's
all
the
affluence.
Yeah,
that
well
you
said.
have is because of what they did. Now you took advantage of it, but if they didn't do what they did, it's like Tiger going somewhere and every current golfer not automatically realizing that without what Tiger did, we wouldn't be making this bread like we're making it now.
Yeah, but that's Tiger though. I'm sure Jeremiah respect the hell out of Jordan. I think what he's saying though, if you the 12th man off the bench and now you got a podcast and now you talking about Draymond Green, who's a 4-time NBA champion, about to be a 2-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year and a future Hall of Famer. He's just saying, I just don't know if I can feel the same way about you.
Have you ever heard Tiger? Have you ever heard Tiger dissing this new generation of golfer?
I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with golf in the last 15 years.
It's not. It doesn't happen. But these young golfers, though, will surely take a shot at him and Phil Mickelson and the OGs. That's the difference we're saying. I'm glad Shaun put it in that perspective. That's the difference that I don't think they're grasping here. Like, good to meet you, dog. Now I'm gonna whip that ass. Now I'm gonna whip that ass. That was what we used to say. Now it's I'm gonna beat your ass. Fuck what you did. Like that's these young motherfuckers. No, we always have respect for whoever it was that was on the court or whatever. Yeah. Nowadays, they've become so accustomed to the jersey swap era and everybody being so fucking friendly after a game 7, motherfucker, or not even a game 7, first game in the NBA playoffs. We still got 3 to go, and they're dapping it up after a win or a loss on the fucking court. And I'm like, damn. Fuck that. Go watch some old school where motherfuckers just sprinted back to the locker room and I got to get back to the drawing board to beat your ass.
In the playoffs, Jason.
That it is happening in the playoffs.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Well, dog, I watched it last year. I did a video on it. Like, motherfuckers was out there dapping it up after they lost game 1 last year. Oklahoma City fucking Thunder game.
You got to show me that, homie.
Dog, it's happening. Shaun, will you tell this motherfucker these cats ain't going to the locker room no more? They're fucking dapping it up after
I think game 1 of a playoffs. No, at the end of the series, yeah.
No, not game one, homie. That's why I did a video because it was literally game 1, and I'm like, damn. Well, that's what it is. That's what I'm saying. Not even you like that. That's what I'm saying. This has become so big that we're numb to it now, and then over time, it's like the gas reference I use all the time, homie. It's real shit.
Listen, overall, I know we're being a dead horse real quick, and we got a few minutes left. Like my last thing is this. Overall, I'm with y'all. Like again, y'all know I'm raised by down south type vibes and parents, so I respect OGs, of course, 100%. Only thing I'm saying is I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of like a athlete, NFL, NBA, whatever. And if I'm constantly hearing the people who I do respect not respecting me or our game today, constantly, it's like at some point, like damn, like I know they're older, but like I'm a grown ass fan too. I've accomplished a lot in this league too. At some point, can I just not? I can't respond, and if I do respond,
I'm being
disrespectful. Like at some point, even you, JB, at some point, motherfucker, 60 years old, start talking shit about JB on a podcast. I know Jason, you're gonna say something back.
But here's the issue. Here's the thing, though.
At some point,
I've never heard the fact that we're personally going to attack the man for being a grown man. I don't hear Charles Barkley talking shit about Draymond Green being a grown man. I hear him talking about being a bus rider and a cat that's enabled and entitled. That's on the court business. Like
that's a great example. If I'm a player and Charles Barkley, who we respect, you just called me enabled and entitled. That's not a basketball. That's not a basketball thing. That's not like, hey,
it is. Smitty.
No, it's not. That's like that's a straight up opinion. That's a basketball thing saying, hey, bro, his post moves are weak. He needs to be more aggressive in the paint, or he needs to move around. You said I'm entitled, and that's not.
No. Hold on, before Shaun goes in, this is the macro scale of this thing. We've eliminated practices at a rigorous rate. We've eliminated multiple practices in summer. And I'm talking football. Then in basketball, we've eliminated the rivalry. If that has all been eliminated, you are absolutely enabled and entitled, homie, when we're doing jersey swaps after games. This is what's happened to sports. We've lost the rivalries. We've lost the competitive edges because everyone makes so much money, which is what? Enabled and entitled, that they're all friendly. And that is the global thing I'm talking about, the big picture thing. It ain't just about on the court, that game you're enabled or entitled. We've created this in a bigger spectrum is what I'm saying, and now we're numb to it. That's all I'm saying. We're numb to it. And we don't really want to go back into the beginning of it and talk about where it happened, when it happened, why it happened. We're just now numb to the shit. We're just numb to the shit. I'm just telling you.
And all I'm saying is if I'm a current player, I can respond to that if I disagree with that. That's all I'm saying. And to me, that's not disrespectful.
We didn't say you can't.
Y'all make it seem like, hey, Charles said it. That's what it is. Don't say nothing about it. Respect it and move on.
Here's the issue. And here's the thing I have. Like,
I disagree with y'all too on the show all the time. Y'all my OGs. Am I disrespectful? I disagree with y'all.
No. Here's the thing. No, but that's the problem though. Like you actually have never not shown respect though. Like this motherfucker hasn't shown no respect. Kobe welcomed Jordan to say what? Man, you're the GOAT and I'm gonna take your shit. Like that's what it was. And I respect you and that's the GOAT. Jordan did the same thing when he came into the league to Dr. J, fucking Bird, and all these other guys that were ahead of him. And it just trickled down that way. Nowadays, LeBron and these motherfuckers, everything you hear LeBron say out of his mouth is I. I'm the GOAT. Motherfucker, you would never hear Jordan or Kobe say I'm the GOAT. It was I'm chasing the GOAT. And that's what the disrespect part comes in that you're not listening to. You don't have to hear it or see it or say it, but I know it. And that's the problem. Shaun?
Here's the problem. In today's arena, they don't allow the mentor to provide mentorship because the athlete is so sensitive. He takes everything so personally. How can a mentor provide constructive criticism if you call it hate? That's the difference. Like when I was a jit and an OG would be like, hey man, look, you gotta work on your change of direction, big homie boy. You know, you ain't getting in and out quick enough. I didn't look at that like, oh, you old motherfucker.
But that's not hate. That's football. That's like giving you literal.
But
come on, Shaun. That's not what
me.
people saying. These guys be like, man, these guys are soft nowadays. They couldn't see us in the eight. That's the conversation.
Hold on, Smitty. This is 47-year-old Shaun King cleaning it up, Tulane educated, high ACT score, right? This ain't how that interaction went.
28 score on the ACT, yeah.
Right.
A holdback.
Yeah, this ain't how that went. This ain't what, Uncle, you get your fat ass out there and run, lose some weight, boy. Hey, man, boy, you garbage right now. Like, that's how it came to me. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit.
To your point, isn't there multiple viral videos from a guy yelling at his team on Netflix, a white dude yelling at a bunch of brothers, and yet we have yet to see one of those brothers come out talking shit about that old white dude. Only at the end of the day, the brother said, damn, that old white dude loved me. That old white dude was real. Some show on Netflix I heard about. And we've had those players that I cussed out and I called fat fuck to come on this show and be like, love you, coach. Every time we have them on, don't they? It's crazy how that
totally
works.
Different, but go ahead.
No, it's not totally different. That's what you're missing, Mike.
Head coach relationship with this player.
Bullshit.
Totally
you're missing
different.
the point, Mike.
There's some random players.
You're missing the point.
That's not the same. I'm sorry.
You're missing. That's exactly the point that Shaun just made. That's totally exactly what y'all missing in this generation, homie.
Totally different.
Let me take a listen.
I couldn't tell you what a fucking microbe is. I couldn't tell you what the fuck any of that shit is. But I'm a cold hustler, so I figured it out. Sorry, motherfucker. I wouldn't lose with these motherfuckers. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, ass bitch. Sit right here with this motherfucker's weak, homie. Yeah, okay. You're weak-minded motherfucker. Hey, you too. Cause I'm gonna choke the fuck out of him. I'm just telling you. He's a mark-ass bitch, homie. He don't understand. That's crazy. Are you fucking stupid? Come here. Who threw that shit? Take your ass out of here, then. Get your fucking ass. You take off on me, brother. You better get your ass out of here. Get his ass out of here.
Hey, you call me a mark ass.
We got a short like that? I didn't know that.
Call me a mark ass, bitch. You got to see me.
Well, anyway, I didn't call him that. I told his daddy that. That was his dad I was talking to, by the way. So just so we're clear, I grew up with the daddy. So here's the thing. I don't think people understand, though, like, this generation and Draymond Green talking about that. Shaun just eloquently broke it down, saying that there is no more. I can't do that because Smitty's point is this, Shaun. I'm a grown man. I'm grown. You can't talk to me like that. Like, hold on, homie. What do you mean you're grown? You can't talk to you like that.
I got yelled and cussed at. I ain't get called a bitch by my coach. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Now you going into the work because again, your generation's proving my point. Y'all are soft. Y'all can't handle that shit. Yeah, you are.
I ain't got nothing to do with that.
You are. All right, listen. That's my point. Respect. We all had to respect the prior generation, and they told us fucking way worse than that, Smitty. I'm gonna be honest with you, homie. Like, if you think that's bad, dog, you are really, really. You've really were raised in a very nice era.
Baby, you know nothing about my coaches. I'm gonna leave it at that.
About your what?
My coaches that I had.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
I'm not from no bougie area at all.
I already know that. That's my point, though. You are in that part of being coached hard, and you still think that this generation doesn't have it made? Come on, homie. You know the difference between when you play. You just played, and it's already changed like this much. Come on, man.
I remember having a conversation with the offense. You know, coach had let me talk to the offensive guys, and I was talking about communication, JB, and I said, I'm going to try and be cognizant of my words, not because I care how y'all feel, but because I'm trying to be a better communicator. But I said, the guys in this room that have a chance to go to the NFL, they are able to connect a coach's adjectives to their own behavior. If I'm calling you a bitch, why? Are you doing bitch shit?
Great move. Great take.
If I'm calling you a fat ass, why? Are you a fat ass? If I'm saying you mentally weak, why? Are you mentally weak? I said, those are the guys that can process that got a chance to go play in the National Football League. Because you guys seek comfort at every turn.
The respect
Somebody's
thing
hard on you, so you want to go find a soft landing spot.
And that's the point. Like, I think the respect thing is taken out of context. They think words are now like disrespectful. And it's like this generation takes everything personal because their peers in social media has clowned them or will clown them in the public eye. So that's why now they feel they have to be combative and I'm a grown man. Don't talk to me that way. When you and I would have to shut the fuck up and just go do our business because we were just told and humbled. Like, I don't know, man. It's very interesting. There's two types of people in the world, Smitty. The humbled one and the one that soon will be humble.
Put that in your back pocket, Smitty. Does the adjective describe the behavior?
I hear you. I just think.
Listen. If an athlete could get to that space of self-awareness, then that's how you start the process of becoming the best version of you.
Smitty,
if your behavior solicited this adjective, you get mad at the adjective instead of acknowledging the behavior.
I hear you. I just think like there's some similarity between y'all era and then my era. For sure, like we're more similar in a lot of ways than different in terms of like my era compared to like the current kids era. But there is a little bit of difference. You guys' era, like you're right, JB. You guys are raised where whatever the authorities, meaning parents, coach, whatever the authorities said, y'all are just going to do, and it didn't matter what it was. It could be crazy.
All right.
Go outside, go grab a branch so I can whoop your ass. All right. Go do that.
All right. Hey, so to your point,
was the first generation where we were disciplined for the most part, but if we were the first generation that would question stuff.
Okay, let me ask you, and I want you to answer that question. Why and when did you become questionable, and when did you question us? That's what I want to ask you, and I'm going to answer for you.
I'm not sure.
Why did you start questioning authority? Is what you just said, and that was your point.
I will admit, my generation was the first generation to start doing that. Now it's got out of control.
Here's why, though. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Here's why, though. Our generation was coaching you. That's the fucking difference.
Yeah.
Now you got y'all generation coaching the younger kids than you. That's the problem. Now we've allowed everybody to question motherfuckers, and you know why?
Worse and worse. Yeah.
You know why it's worse and worse now? Because you've added a bag to these 17 to 21-year-olds, homie. Now they make more money than Shaun King coaching them. I'm the quarterback coach making, let's say, $250 at a Power 5, $300 as just a QB coach, which is good ass money. Fuck, $300K as a position coach is fucking great coin. But this kid's making $3 million. He ain't listening to Shaun King, who, even though won a Super Bowl, guess what his narrative will be? This is just true. No disrespect, Shaun. You know that.
Yeah.
You was just a backup on that team. You was a backup, homie. You can't talk to me. Like, you can't tell me about footwork. That's the fucking problem, homie. These cats have zero fucking respect. Lonnie Johnson, Smitty, which you made a comment to, case in point, on Instagram, is talking to a fucking nobody who's sitting there questioning a 7-year veteran in the NFL as to why his T-step is, he's hating on Dion. You have zero stats. You don't play, homie. And you're questioning a 7-year-old veteran. A 7-year veteran in the NFL, a second-round draft pick in Lonnie Johnson. This fucking nobody on Instagram's questioning. That's respect, homie, or lack thereof. Like, let's just be honest. You and I would be trying to talk to Lonnie Johnson. Yeah. Hey, homie, I would let her come holler at you. Come on, dog. Miss me. This is fucking the problem. This is what we're seeing. Social media is the devil, homie. I'm just being real. It's allowed the normal nobody to feel like he's a average somebody. And now he feels he can go DM a LeBron James, and because LeBron liked it or something, he thinks he's in the fucking circle.
Right.
Come on, man.
Fair. That's a good point for sure. I think in closing, I think my generation is the overall best generation though in terms of balance. I think y'all were like overly disciplined to a fault to the point where y'all just did anything. Like, Shaun, jump off the bridge. Okay, like just whatever they said. I think we brought in common sense a little bit in my generation to where we were super disciplined. But if something didn't make sense, we might say, hey, mom, I'm gonna do that. But can you explain why? And sometimes we get more trouble for even asking.
You know why? You know why?
That. So I think millennials, my age, we're the perfect balance. Y'all did whatever they said.
Let me keep cooking real quick. You know why?
Yeah.
Because we trusted the human being that told us to jump off the bridge, dog.
Yeah, sometimes that wasn't as smart as well. Be real. It wasn't always smart to trust it, dog.
But here's the reason. But here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying to that, though. What I'm saying, the reason we trusted it was because we knew it wasn't personal, homie. It wasn't personal. It was business. And we understood that this man was leading us and steering us strong, not steering us wrong. Ooh, nowadays, everybody thinks we're out here to steer you wrong so we can go, y'all say ops and all this old shit. Our ops is out here to get us. No, dog. Now y'all worried about what's the next guy's getting. As you say, we don't pocket check. That's all these motherfuckers are trying to do because they all think the 1-star is worth the 4-star bag when it comes to recruiting. That's created a watered down scenario in the locker room. So where Nick Saban cusses out the $3 million motherfucker, the $100 making cat gets cussed out the same way. The same words are used, homie. And now guess what? He thinks the pasture's greener on the other side and he enters the portal. And now you can't yell at the whole locker room no more as a team. Now I got to be individualized. This is ridiculous.
No, that's today's kids. So I'm with you. And I can't. I'm not. That's Bailey group. I don't know them. I'm talking about my group. But it's all good, man. Great conversation.
Why you throw Bailey under the bus?
He always likes to do that at the end of the show.
I'm saying that's his age. No, that's his age
he
group.
Likes to do it at the end of the show.
Bailey's what, 22 or something like that? That's Bailey's age group. I'm 31. It's just a guy.
Bailey be working his ass off, man.
This ain't no Bailey shot. I said that's Bailey's age group.
Yeah, Paris.
I think taking it personal, homie.
Me?
No, hell no.
Can y'all admit that last night? Can y'all admit that my generation is a little smarter than y'all generation, though? Like overall, is that fair?
No, not at all.
And again, we needed y'all to get to this point, but we learned from y'all mistakes and we a little smarter than y'all.
Y'all have access to more information, so I think y'all mind processes things
different. My God, living to the OG in the building, man. And Smitty knows he has a fan. And OG, Watts up, Watts legend, administrator extraordinaire, doctorate degree holding, USC Trojan, Dr. Elio Mendoza said this. Oh my goodness. That is 1,000% correct. And you know it is.
They got so disrespectful.
You damn well right. You know that's true too, Smitty. When the money runs out, the motherfuckers are quiet again until the next bag comes. It's funny how that shit works.
Damn, he on your back like that, Tito?
That's today's generation. I didn't get paid.
Hey, real quick. Paris, I was talking to you. I would do, a short on each guest we had, and then I would cut what we just talked about for fucking, like Vince said, 1,000 ways. As many ways as you can cut that conversation that Shaun, Smitty, and I had, I think would be great.
Not literally 1,000, because we know you don't have that type of day, but like just kind of a couple of the best moments from that.
See, that's the millennial in you. The boss just gave somebody a directive, and you just couldn't help but add something to it.
The co-boss had to jump in because again, we just talked about us having more knowledge and more access to knowledge. I'm more knowledgeable when it comes to the social media space and knowing how to edit and make these type of things. JB is not a technical guy, which is totally fine. It's not his field. He didn't have that access. So I want to make sure, she understands that he doesn't mean 1,000. Like, he doesn't mean go out there and make 20 reels from that. That's not realistic, homie. So I want to make sure he has some clarity from direction.
Hey, so OG Vince and OG Dr. Doc Mendoza, my former boss. By the way, you guys got to end up hooking up. You don't even know each other and know anything. You both live in Long Beach. I just want to throw that out there. So we got to hook it up. We got to get Vince out. We got to get Vince out to the yacht. Doc comes out all the time. Hey, Doc, by the way, this weekend, 80-degree weather, Long Beach. You know where I'll be. Come on out. Shaun King will come out, and Smitty's gonna come ride the jet ski, and we're gonna make viral videos of it. And I'm gonna throw Smitty the ball on the jet ski, and Smitty's gonna full on, like, you know what I'm saying? Why he's going 60? Yeah. And we're gonna make a viral video. That's what we do.
300 bands on me, and we'll do it.
Content creators is what we do, and on the realest show on Planet ERF, and we'll see tomorrow. It's Truth Telling Thursday, and I can't wait. We got a loaded lineup again tomorrow. Plus Friday, we got Vince Papali on with Shaun King. Going to ask us did those things really happen with Dick Vermeil and that Eagle team? So we're going to ask the real Vince Papali on Friday with Shaun King. And then
I'm going to get a mani-pedi, get me a massage. I got to get ready for Saturday.
Mani-pedi?
Yeah, I got to get ready for Saturday, dog.
What Saturday? Duke lose? You gonna have pretty feet to see Duke lose?
Nah, I gotta mean, you know when you got that date coming up, your wife's birthday, like a big event, you getting a big award, you gotta make sure, hey, dog, this will give us 6 if we win this one. This will give us 6. Put us in rarefied air.
I know Tulane had 5 natties in basketball. That's what's up.
DUKE, God's team, baby. That's why the devil is blue.
Hey, so you'll only be 6 away from UCLA.
Hey, can't take nothing away from UCLA.
Y'all both represent schools that neither one of y'all went to, homie. Stop. Chirp to the death of me. Good and bad. Chirp all day, baby.
I say we when I'm talking about we. You guys say we as your school. I mean the brothers. That's what I say we. So anyway, Paris, cut that. We'll see you tomorrow. Guess what? Shaun King, you'll miss. I know you're mad at us. You haven't even brought it up, Smitty. I'm surprised.
Yeah,
but we had Daniel Ewing on yesterday, Duke legend, and he didn't know who you were at all. So anyway, we're gonna bring on Doc.
Hey, he got screwed at Duke a little bit. Highly rated recruit. He was a wing player, like a guard, point guard, 2 guard kind of guy. Kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. I wish he could come through now. He'd excel.
He got Bronny James to the Lakers, so I'm sure you're happy. He's a scout for the Lakers. Hey,
only person that hold Bronny down is JJ Redick by not giving him minutes. All Bronny need is minutes.
I asked a real question. As Smitty rolled off the scene yesterday, I asked Daniel Ewing. I asked Daniel Ewing about Bronny. I said, is he an NBA player? Yeah, he kept it real. Shit, Daniel Ewing's a real one. I like him a lot.
He said not yet, but he's improved a lot.
Yep, and he said Canet was there, and he had to take him first. And
how much NBA basketball do y'all watch?
I watch it every day. I watch
every single day. Last night I watched a beautiful doubleheader.
I got NBA TV on all TVs right now.
So what?
I got all the TVs on NBA. I watch it all.
We just saw Russell Westbrook with the worst 2 possessions in double overtime history last night.
I led the show off with it.
I'm not gonna kill him though. That's a top 25 player.
Come on, man.
He's from LA. I'm not gonna kill him. It was a bad moment though.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Smitty, I led the show off with it, right?
You did. We talked about that like hours ago. Shaun wasn't watching the show though, of course.
Yeah, we talk about all kinds of times because we talk about you don't watch the show, Shaun. So
hockey, baseball, NBA, NFL, draft.
I mean, my segment starts at 8.
Well, if you're a real supporter, you watch the first 2 hours though to get.
Yeah, so you know the context. Hey, so tomorrow, Shaun, do you have any questions for tomorrow's guest? We got Leonard Marshall on tomorrow, and Shaun and Steve Kim's going to join us
from the Giants.
Yeah, and Steve Kim's going to help us with that. Steve's a huge fan of his. Obviously, playing there with Lawrence and everybody.
I do some research. I hit you up. All right, I got it.
All right, Truth Telling Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow on the Realest Show on Planet Earth. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. Peace.